So he's coming off his worst game of the year, whereas Wilmington, they are coming off of a loss to Baldwin Wallace. Wilmington will be led by their senior quarterback, Luke Credit. And defensively, they'll be led by David Henry and C.J. Thompson. Chris, good to have you here today with me. We're excited about doing the game. Looking for a very highly competitive game and most likely a high-scoring game from what we've seen between Wilmington and Marietta in the past, but also these two offenses that they boast. Tell us a little bit about each offense.
Well, both offenses are about the same type of caliber team. They both lost, two in the OAC. Of course, Marietta's 2-3. I believe in the league they're 0-2.
0-2.
And of course, Wilmington College is 1-2 here in the league, but they're 2-0 at home here. I think Wilmington's going to come out today. I think Wilmington's got a great offensive scheme. I mean, you have Luke Credit. He's fourth in touchdowns in the OAC. Great quarterback. Talked to him this Thursday at the sports show there at Damon's. And he's excited about today, to snap a 2-game, losing streak here and get back on track.
And they'll be able to get back if they can win this football game to 3-3, 500 in the middle of the season for the first time in quite a while. So I think that's got them excited, but this crowd has to have them excited. I was walking around campus here earlier today, a great day with homecoming, a lot of festivities going on. We have a lot of tailgating going on, packed. I think we're going to have a ruckus crowd, and I think we're going to have a lot of points. Talk a little bit about Marietta's rushing attack with Roger Walker.
Basically the ground attack after 5 games. This is going back to Marietta's. Well, go to the ground attack here for Wilmington, actually. We got Marietta's Roger Walker there. The reigning OAC offensive back of the year comes into the game ranked 4th in the league with 420 yards rushing on 74 attempts. They're 3rd in the league. The senior has the most rushing attempts in the OAC without a fumble. Talk about a little bit about the past experience over Wilmington College here in Marietta.
Well, the last 5 games, Marietta has won 4 of the last 5. Wilmington's last win comes in 2012 with a 13-12 game between Wilmington and Marietta, with Wilmington coming out on top. Last year, not a lot of defense played in that game for Wilmington. They gave up 66 points, and that was one of those ones where when they got off the bus, Marietta kind of blitzed them from the moment they stepped off the bus. I think these guys that are returning, I've talked to several of them this week, that kind of stuck with them a little bit. They're going to be ready to open this game. They're excited about this opportunity. They're excited to maybe blitz Marietta a little bit when they come off the bus. So, but these games have been very competitive over the last 5 years. But today's game, again, going back to those two offenses, I think it's what offense going to have the ball last, maybe decides this game, or what defense can make a couple stops, or
turnover ratio. We go with turnovers. Yeah. And going back over here to Luke Credit. Luke Credit, midway through the season, senior Luke Credit has thrown 12 touchdowns, which is already a single season high for the signal caller. He has completed 60.6% of his passes. He's 66 for 109 for 977 yards and 12 scores and 5 interceptions. The 12 scores ranks him 4th in the OAC this year, and his 281 yards rushing is 2nd on the team. Now tell me about how important Luke is just on the ground attack there.
Well, Luke drives this offense, again, like you said, not just through the air, but on the ground as well. He's the guy making the decisions. He's getting an opportunity not only to read the defense in passing situations, but in running situations. And when they get down near the goal line, I don't know if they have a better back than Luke Credit as far as being that power guy. You don't think often of a quarterback being a power guy, but he's a guy that when he sniffs that goal line, he's going to put his nose down, he's going to run through it. He just has that determination you want from your senior quarterback. And I know those offensive linemen, I've talked to them over the last few weeks, they love blocking for him because he doesn't shy away from contact ever. But they're doing a great job also of keeping him upright. When he does pass, he's doing a good job of getting some quick balls out. So, when you're running the ball, it's not the same as taking a hit with a sack where you're kind of exposed, etc. Whereas when when he's running the ball, he's delivering the hit. So, Luke is a vital part of that. And again, when you've got to worry about more than just handing it off to the back, that spreads the defense out, creates those little gaps, allows those big offensive linemen, not to have to work as hard, just a little crease. And we have the speed with Hinton and Flynn to take off and just find that crease and go.
And, of course, first week here against Overland Quakers, broadcasting here, Eric Flynn, Gino Hinton, and the Wilmington Quakers offense racked up 381. Come back, they at home again, they play the Capitol, go into an overtime win. How big is the dual running backs here for Wilmington today?
Well, it's huge because not only do they use them one at a time, they can throw two backs in the backfield, and now they can run that triple option with really two halfbacks that could go the distance at any time. It gives them a lot of versatility, but then also just when they're in their one-back set, both of these guys catch the ball. Both of these guys are punt returner, kick returner type guys that they get just a little crease, and I know I wouldn't want to have to tackle them in the open field, but it gives them a break and gives them a chance to be fresh. And so at the end of the game, when they really need to run that football, they can hand that ball off to those guys and they can get those extra yards.
Yeah, we go to the defensive side of the football here. We have Wilmington, C.J. Thompson, great athlete. Tell us a little bit about C.J. Thompson this year.
Well, he's fourth on the team in tackles with 35 stops. Just because he's fourth doesn't mean he isn't the guy making most of the things happen. They're flowing away from him a lot of time. And he's going to be at the center of that attention today with Roger Walker, the big running back from Marietta. Not only is he a big physical guy, but he's a guy that can move. And CJ's going to have to make sure he's not getting blocked, get off those blocks, and go up and make solid tackles. CJ's been the leading tackler, I think, the last couple years for Wilmington. I'm looking for a big game from him. He was nicked up a little bit early on in the year and just fought through those injuries. He's a guy that I look for to have a real big game today.
Now, going back to the Walker here and, Wilmington's ground attack, after 5 games, thanks mostly to the 381 yards against the Fighting Quakers, are third in the OAC with 188 yards per game. That's pretty big. Scoring, the Wilmington offense has improved greatly with Brian Moore at the helm. At the midway point of the season, the Quakers have scored 149 points. It marks more points than the team has scored in the last 5 out of the 6 seasons.
That's just an outstanding and unbelievable number. But Brian Moore brings an offensive mindset to this football team. But the great thing that Brian's doing is he's protecting. Was a little flea flicker pass. Wondering if we don't see one of those exciting type plays here.
Yes. So the scouting the Marietta Pioneers looking to snap a 2-game skid. The Marietta Pioneers have lost 2 straight games, falling to Baldwin Wallace 52-24 and John Carroll 48-21 heading into the game. John Carroll raced out 45-7 lead after its first score of the fourth quarter. Running back Roger Walker was limited to 12 yards on 10 attempts with a long rush of 7 yards. He gained 3 yards on the other 11 attempts. Walker did have 2 touchdown receptions, finishing with 39 yards receiving on 4 catches. Quarterback Darren Fields gained a team-high 37 yards on 11 rushes. Fields was effective in the passing game. Completed 21 of 29 passes for 206, 3 touchdowns and no reception. He was sacked 4 times. How important is it for Dave Henry and the defensive line to get in the backfield and put pressure on this guy?
Well, they're gonna have to put pressure. They're gonna have to make some tackles in this run game. They're gonna have to do a good job. And And one of the hardest things is when you're trying to put pressure on a quarterback and you got a good running back, you also can't just shed that lineman. Because if you're getting upfield, you're not necessarily doing your responsibility, keeping them off your linebackers. That's how big runs happen. So they've got to be solid. And then when they realize it's a pass, read their keys, get back into that backfield, because that's where it all starts in the backfield. Between the running back, Walker, and Darren Fields, you know, those two guys are the guys that make this Marietta engine go. Walker, we talked about him a lot already. Fields completes 70% of his passes. So that's a crazy stat as well. And he's got three receivers. Alex Smith, who's got 20 receptions for 170 yards and a touchdown. He's got Ryan Van Meter, who has 25 receptions for 220 yards. And then Andrew Barker, who has 240 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's the guy that seems to make those plays down at the end zone for him. With those guys, Wilmington has a lot of people to pay attention to. You got to focus in that backfield. You got to stop that run. And again, Fields can move as well, but then those receivers make it difficult. And from what I've been told, they're good blockers as well. So they do their job not only catching the ball, but blocking for that running back.
So if you're just tuning in here on campusnation.com, today we have Wilmington College Quakers against Marietta Pioneers. We have about 2:10 to go till the start of the game. Captains are on the field here, getting ready for the coin toss. If you're Wilmington here, or if you're Marietta, what are you doing here? Are you going to accept? Are you going to receive the kick? I mean, if you win a toss here, I don't know.
I think if they win, they're going to want to put that offense on there first. But it looked like they won and they deferred, and Wilmington has decided to receive the kick for the first half. So it'll be Wilmington's offense getting that first crack at the Marietta defense. You know, a lot of coaches have gone to this strategy. They want to kick off. They want to change field position right away. Hopefully they get a deep kickoff. They can get a stop, and they can flip that field position right away with their defense and give their offense a short field. That's what Marietta is looking to do here. Wilmington, a big return right here would be important, but also just getting out there and letting credit get moving a little bit and being able to control the ball and control the field a little.
So we're going to go to our sponsors here.
The final resting place, Haunted Junkyard, is located at 988 Polk Road in Sabina, Ohio. Their hours of operation are 8 p.m. till midnight every Friday and Saturday from now until October 28th. Prepare for torment from freaks of nature like Pig Boy, Patient 5150, Dr. Nightmare, and Buffalo. Due in 2017 is a second attraction, Lights Out. For more information, you can contact the final resting place at 937-728-6190. thefinalrestingplace.com or their Facebook page.
Welcome back here, WZA 106.9, campusnation.com. We've got 29 seconds here before the kickoff. Marietta's set to kick the ball off on their own 35-yard line. Back to receive for the Hurricanes there is number 19.
Preparing for the kickoff, number 9,
Nick Riley. Logan Alwood here to kick off for Marietta.
And to receive the kick, number 5, Eric Clay, number 10, Kenny Jones.
Kick received. He's going to go over the 20. No, he's going to be brought short. He's going to pick up about 3 yards there on the kick return. Great play by Marietta there.
That was a great start defensively. Dustin Likens on that return. Kenny Jones on that return there, freshman wide receiver. He was stopped dead in his tracks by the Marietta defender. So Wilmington, first possession, going to be starting at about the 18-yard line.
So Wilmington, first and 10, ball on about the 23-yard line. Credit lines up in the gun. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Flynn to the right. Wilmington gets set. Hand off to Flynn. Tackled there. Maybe loses one, maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage.
And that was Garrett Davis on the tackle for Marietta, as well as a host of other guys. Garrett Davis is their leading tackler. He has 14 more tackles than their second leading tackler has on the season. Big start from Marietta there.
Yeah, so Wilmington lines up 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Flynn to the right of credit and a gun. Wilmington gets set. Credit looks, pass, looks left. Complete to number 9, over the 25, over the 30, over the 35, over the 40.
And that is a big play by Amir Jackson, the freshman wide receiver. He has return talent, and that's exactly what they let him do right there. Just get the ball out. They threw a little fake screen right back left, and he was able to get up the field.
Wilmington in a hurry-up offense here. 2 to the right, 2 to the left here. Credits looks, takes the snap. Looks pass to the right. Pass to number 9 there. He's going to pick up about 2, maybe 3 there. That was Amir Jackson again, the freshman.
So he's had 2 targets on the first 2 pass plays. He's a guy that can make things happen. They're trying to get the ball to him real quick and just let him make a play.
Credit lines up in the gun. 3 to the left. Takes the snap. Hand off to Flynn up the middle.
Keeps his balance.
Keeps his balance there. Picks up about 2 or 3. But that's a good second effort there by him.
That was a great second effort. The old 3-legged dog, as they like to say, put that hand down, broke a tackle, and was able to get out. What looked like only a gain of 1 ended up in about a gain of 3. So it'll be 3rd and 5 here to start.
Third and 4, maybe 5. Wilmington lines up. 3 to the left. Credit in the gun. Looks like he's going to go back to Coach Moore. Look at him. Flynn's to the right. 1 to the right, too. Spread out here. Wilmington gets set. Takes the snap. Fake. Credit back to pass. He looks to run. He's going to tuck it and keep it. Ooh, he's going to get close to the first down here.
This is going to be all about the spot right here. And I think the FAR official's saying go ahead and move the change. He has it. He's across that 47-yard line. So it's going to be a first down for Wilmington. The chains haven't moved, but the officials have told him to move. So
yeah, they go to say move, but hey, it looks like they are. You're right. They're going to go ahead. So it's going to be 1st and 10, Wilmington. Now they're in Marietta Pioneers territory. Ball on the 47-yard line. Wilmington's had a couple good plays there.
They're catching a little rhythm. Luke's got a little rhythm here early on. He did a great job there getting back. There was no one open and taking off.
Credit in the gun. Man in motion there. Jackson in motion. Hand off to Flynn, but he's tackled right there just quick. Nobody blocked 96 there for Marietta.
Chris Otto, the defensive lineman, came across right away, but they were setting something up right there. We're going to see that exact same formation, that exact same motion. Amir Jackson on a little swing. We'll see that coming here later on in the game. He was setting something up. Good job by Marietta defender getting in the backfield.
Wilmington College fans here, they're rallied up today. Looks good out here. They got their green towels waving. So Luke's in the pistol now, 2 to the left. Takes the snap, fakes to Hinton. Looks like he's going to be sacked there by number 93 for Marietta.
So this will be interesting what they're going to mark. We have the field judge coming in and calling an incomplete pass. He said it was a forward pass. So it'll be interesting whether they call him down at the spot. They throw a flag for grounding. There's all kinds of things that could happen here.
I don't know if he was outside the hashes, if he rolled outside the box.
And there goes the flag, yeah.
See, I don't think he was outside the box. So that's a loss of down there for Wilmington.
So it was the same as if the sack happened. The big thing there, though, is you want credit to take care of the football. That was kind of a dangerous thing, just flailing it out. But again, you hope your senior quarterback maybe takes care of the ball a little bit better there. Same thing as the sack, so Quakers will have 3rd and long here. Looks like about 20 or 21.
So Wilmington back. It's 3rd and long here. Ball on their own 41-yard line. Credit in the gun. Flynn to the right, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Ooh, in and out of the hands of Amir Jackson. They've looked for Amir Jackson quite a bit so far. That's 3. He's 2 for 3 receptions.
They've targeted him 3 times so far here early. The big thing there, that was just a quick safe play. That was like a run play. They weren't wanting to do anything. This is the Quakers. They punt less than almost anybody in the OAC. They're 8th in the amount of punts that they've had this year.
So Wilmington set to punt. Back deep there.
And we have a false start going to be on the Quakers here.
Is that number 14 back for Marietta or 16? It was one of them, I think. Van Meter, maybe.
Yeah, that's going to be Van Meter back deep to return the kick.
So we had a full start there at Wilmington College. Van Meter's back to receive the kick. You got Wilmington College lined up to punt here. Punts up. Looks like Van Meter's going to receive it. Slips and falls. That was a good play there by Wilmington coming down there. It was a great by the gunner there, number 35 for Wilmington.
Wilson, the starting safety for the Quakers, was able to make it. Again, one of those freshman defensive backs getting out there. I believe we have a flag on the field. Looks like it's going to be a hold at for the Pioneers, so they're going to start a few yards back.
So we'll go to the officiating crew.
Return to number 92.
It's a hold by number 92. So it's going to bring the ball back to about the 20-yard line. So the Pioneers are going to take over.
This will be our first look at Fields and Walker here coming onto the field. From what I've been told, it looks like that they are going to be excited to get Walker going here early on. They want to get him running. They're hoping that Wilmington's undersized defensive line, they can take advantage of that.
Yeah, so Fields, like you said, he's completed 70% of his passes this year. Tough. They got a big running back there, Walker, number 1. So Marietta, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Well, they're going to move 82 over there to the right, so we got 3 to the right. Fields hands off to Walker. Walker's going to pick up about 2. It was a good play there by Wilmington.
And that was David Henry at the bottom of that pile making that tackle. Did a good job of disengaging from the offensive lineman and being able to wrap up. These defensive linemen, they are going to be busy all day long. They are going to know they've been in a battle, that's for sure.
So the Pioneers line up, no huddle. Line up 3 to the right. Walker behind Fields in the pistol. Man in motion. Fields takes the snap, hands off to Walker. Walker over the 30, over the 35, over the 40, over the 50, over the 40, over the 30. Ooh, brought down there about the 35-yard line.
And that was Wilson on the tackle again, the freshman defensive back. Right there, though, he was not touched until he grabbed him at about the 25-yard line. Walker was just able to go through a massive hole on that side. And again, the offensive line was able to get up to the linebacker, which just opened things up.
Yeah, he's a big, thick running back. I mean, you're going to have to stop that. Looks like nobody got penetration there on the left side there. So Marietta is back in the gun again. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Walker beside Fields. Fields takes the snap. He's going to run it, keep it up the middle. But he's brought down there by C.J. Thompson.
C.J. on the field right away making a play. That's a great tackle. Great read and react there by the Quakers. That was just a flat-out quarterback draw, and C.J. recognized it right away and did a good job, as you said, filling the hole.
He's a great leader here, him and Dave Henry. We both just sat there. And, you know, they're playing them pretty young. So, Fields hands off. Man, he's going to be pick up maybe 2, maybe 3.
A really nice job by Ross there, 56 for the Quakers, getting off the block. He held his guy up, exactly what we were talking about, responsibility football, held his guy up, got rid of him, and then was able to get there and get Walker to the ground.
So it's 3rd and 7 for Wilmington, or for Marietta Pioneers. 3 to the right. Well, they're bringing a guy, 82's come 88. It's hard to see the numbers out here with the gray numbers.
Their gray numbers on white are difficult to read, that's for sure.
Fields takes the snap, rolls right. He looks left to Walker. Looks like a little screen pass, complete, over the 10, over the 5. Fumble! Looks like Marietta, they're going to give him a touchdown there, Marietta.
And we have some flags, though, on the ground.
Loose on the play.
Number 60 there for Marietta. Looks like Brendan Mulholland. But we got a flag down here. Let's go to the field.
It's going to be fumble 33 at the Wilmington 3.
We also have a player down there. Actually, looks like the running back Walker is who is down on the field. The Quakers had a guy in the end zone. I couldn't see the number, but he tried to bend down and pick it up. And coaches always tell you the first thing you do, just fall on that.
Fall on the football. You're not going to go nowhere.
Yeah, you're not.
At that point, you can just touch back, go ahead and get the ball on the 20.
There was 15 guys within a 5-yard radius of you right there with that loose ball. Just go down to the ground, take the ball, and go the other way. Be interesting to sort this penalty out here. We've got more officials coming in.
Walker is going to get up on his own here. He's limping off the field here after his fumble there.
And I think, I'm just venturing a guess here, but it kind of looked like that left ankle right there at the end as he was getting hit. It just stuck in the ground and kind of twisted.
Yeah. And, for the Pioneers, for Wilmington, it's not a bad thing, but for the Pioneers, Walker and Fields are pretty two solid athletes of their team,
Yeah.
That's going to hurt them if Jackson's not, or if Walker's not all right.
Play is a touchdown. There was a block below the waist by the defense. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
So, coming back, we had a block below the waist. I don't understand how it would be a block below the waist due to the fact that Wilmington never obtained possession of that ball.
I'm not sure, and I don't think that the Quaker fans here are very happy about it either, and they don't understand it. The coaching staff doesn't seem to understand it, but that is the call. So that will also put them in bad field position after this extra point here for Marietta.
So Marietta is set to kick their extra point. Number 52 there. Kick is up, and it is good. So with 8:36 here at Townsend Field, we have Wilmington College 0, Marietta Pioneers 7. So if you're Wilmington College, what are you going to do here in this situation? They come down, they score. That's kind of a fluke play, with the ball popping out.
Well, the big things is really on that scoring drive, it was really two plays. It was the big run was the play, and then also that little screen pass that Walker fumbled forward for a touchdown, but he was wide open on the screen pass. And again, I go back to what we talked about in the opening. So our SID is telling us here that it's the second straight game that we've forced a fumble at the goal line and the other team's recovered. But back to what we were talking about, really it was two plays. So you got to kind of, if you're the defense, you got to say, hey, we got to shore up those couple things. We got to move on. And your offense was moving the ball really well the first time. The biggest thing is they had a couple negative plays. And if you're in this horizontal stretch offense, you've got to stay on down, on distance, and you can't be giving up those negative plays, whether it's sacks, tackles for losses, or penalties, which the Quakers had several of those on the first possession.
So Marietta's set to kick off from the 50 after the 15-yard penalty there.
And it'll be interesting here as they're kicking off from the 50. Do you think they kick deep? Do they do a little squib kick? Try to get them pinned back down inside the 20 and make them go the length of the field?
Yeah, you're right there. You could do a little bit. I might go for an onside kick type thing. Here. Because basically they give you the ball on about the 40.
And that's exactly what they do, and they have a guy, but he touches it before 10 yards.
10 yards, yes, great. That was before 10 yards he touched that ball, I believe.
Well.
So I think.
Yeah, he kicked it from the 50.
Oh, it is after, you're right.
So it'll be interesting if they wave this flag off. That was such a beautiful onside kick there by Marietta. Their kicker, number 97, Logan Allward, did a great job.
That was a great job there. I thought he touched it before the 40, but it looks like they're going to mark it on the about the 36-yard line. Maybe 35. We're going to go down to the officiating crew down here.
Well, we've had an interesting call already, so it'll be interesting to see what they come out of this huddle with. The last time they had a huddle, they came out with a call that no one understood. We'll see if they do that again here. Going back to what I originally said, which was wrong, he actually got the ball at about the 36-yard line, and I was looking at the wrong down line, so that is 14 yards. Yeah.
But I kind of looked at it and I said, I thought it was before the 40 there. But like you said, I think they was coming up field. So what's the officiating crew talking about?
Interference on the kicking team.
Catch interference. Maybe he waved for a for a fair catch there, and that's possible.
Okay.
And he can't get in his way if he calls for a fair catch. If the ball's in the air,
he cannot be blocked. So it must have been the other player, not so much the guy that caught the ball, but another player coming down and blocking. Again, we've had two interesting calls so far. We'll look to see what the rest of the day holds with this officiating crew. But the Quakers ball at the 49-yard line of the Pioneers.
Luke Credit in the gun. 3 to the right. Takes the snap. Keeps the ball up the middle. He's gets about the 45-yard line, picks up about 4 there. It's a great play there by Luke.
And that was a great read. He just kind of stretched him. They're looking to go quick here again, but he let the running back stretch him and then hit it right up the middle for a couple yards.
2nd and 6. 2 by 2. Credit in the gun. Flynn next. Credit back to pass to the left to Jackson. Complete. Jackson going to get down about the 36-yard line, pick up about 10. Great play by him here.
I think the game plan for today is we're going to get the ball in Amir Jackson's hands as much as possible, see if he can make a few plays for us. Caught it twice, but did a great job of then getting up the field and getting about 6 or 7.
He's a 6'1", 190 freshman, big kid. 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Credit takes the snap. He's going to keep it up the middle. He's going to drive over to about the 30-yard line, pick up about 4. Man, I love the way Luke Credit runs. He's a solid runner, man, and he works hard to get where he is.
Yeah, he's a big, strong guy, and it was nice there. They were able to clear out the backfield. Looks like a passing formation, and then you got that big, strong quarterback going on up in.
He's got 12 touchdowns here in the OAC this year, 4th in the OAC. 3 to the right, Credit in the gun. Looks like a man offside. Ooh, they're not going to call it a free play.
There was contact. The only reason why they didn't let him keep going, there was some contact when the defensive line came across. Credit knew what to do. He was getting the ball down the field, got it to Amir Jackson again, but they're going to call that play dead before it starts. I think that's going to be a 2nd and 1 then. So now you got 2nd and 1 about the 25. Is this a shot play? Is this?
I'm shotting it. I'm shotting it, and I feel you, because you got to take one here.
Yeah.
You know, right or wrong, you take a shot at that end zone. I mean, you've completed a lot of passes. Good things happen.
So we have 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Flynn off to his Credit's left.
Hands off there to Flynn. He's up the middle, man. He's going to pick up about 9 or 10. Who's wrong? He's right up the middle there.
So maybe Marietta's thinking the same thing we are. There's a shot coming, hand off to Flynn right up the middle. I tell you what, he's a little guy, but he keeps those legs churning and breaks a lot of tackles.
2 by 2 for Wilmington. Credit. Hands off to Flynn up the middle. Ooh, he's brought down right at about the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Now, a lot of people would say, that's one time, why didn't Credit keep the ball? I think that was a designed run. Even though he was open going on the outside, I think that was a designed give. Sometimes they have that option to him, but I think that was a designed give. The Marietta defensive line really overall is playing pretty well, getting some penetration and stuff in the run game for the most part.
Credit in the gun. Takes the snap. He's going to keep it up the middle. He's going to pick up maybe 2. So it'll be about 2nd and 8.
A lot of times you see those wide receivers coming back to the huddle. Hey, I'm open. I think that time the running back's coming back and saying, Luke, give me that ball. I was going out. I had one-on-one out there. You got to let Flynn make a play. But not a bad call by Credit. Get a couple yards and make it a manageable 3rd down. Again, I think this might be 4 down territory. If you're the Quakers, you're not necessarily have to get a 1st down on this play.
So we got 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Flynn in the backfield. Credit takes a snap. He looks left. Pass complete. It's going to maybe get to 11.
And that
so it's going to bring up 3rd and about 5.
And that looked like the H-back there, number 26 for the Quakers. So did a good job of going and getting the ball quick, getting the ball up the field. They're bringing Maddox back in, so they're going to have 4 wides here with Flynn, 4th and about 5 yards. And that was Pettiford who was on the reception there a minute ago.
He's a Miami Trace Courthouse, Washington Courthouse kid. So Credit is back. Takes snap, rolls right. Looking deep there for number 9, Jackson. Ooh, overthrows him in the end zone. So it's going to be turnover on downs, and Marietta Pioneers going to take over 1st and 10, ball on about the 13-yard line.
And Luke just put that over Amir Jackson's arms. Couldn't get to it. There's one where you'd like to see him, keep it in play. It's Marietta's ball one way or the other. Keep it in play. Give your guy a chance to make a play, even if Marietta's guy does have a chance. If that's first down, that's a great placement, right?
But
Don't
if it
give
gets
the other guy a
picked,
chance. But on fourth down, it gets picked. It's no big deal.
Yeah, because you're talking 9-yard difference, like you said. That's great.
And the big news is Roger Walker is back in the game.
So Fields is in the pistol. They got 2 men in the backfield with Walker now. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Pass to the right, complete there, over the 20, over the
nice tackle by C.J. Thompson, because if he doesn't make that tackle, he's off to the races right there. The DB was unable to come up and make that play. But, again, C.J. Thompson, you talked about him at the top of the show, did a great job of reading and flying out there and making a tackle.
Yeah, it looks like number 9 there for the Pioneers is in there also at running back. Tanner Clark takes the snap. Hands up, number 9, Tanner Clark again. He's going to go about 9 yards. Man, they got another big kid there. He's 5'11", 201 for Pioneers.
And he did a good job of, even though he's a big guy, shifting those feet in the hole, being able to make a guy miss. And as a running back, that's what they always make you do. You got to make one guy miss, and then did a good job of picking up 9.
Wilmington's got to come out and they got to start putting pressure on this, get in the backfield. These defense linemen need to bend. Once they get heel step, they need to bend their eyes and find the football right off the rip. Fields is in the I backfield, or he's lined up with power I. Hands off. No, he's going to roll, keep it to the left. He's over the 40, over the 50. He's going to get tackled there by 33.
So that was one of those formations where it looks like Marietta's running a power I that's short yardage, and they take everybody to the right, a naked boot out to the left, and Fields does a good job getting upfield, getting about a 15-yard gain.
So they're back in the I, 1 to the right, 1 to the left. Hand off to number 9. Tackle for a loss there for Wilmington.
And that was number 55 there on the tackle. He did a great job of just, again, shedding that block. I believe that's Ackley that was on the tackle. Yeah, 55 Ackley. Did a great job of just shedding that block and going upfield and then stopping his feet and getting the tackle.
Fields back to pass. Looks for 89 over the middle. Complete. Down to about the 30. It's going to give Pioneers a first down ball in Wilmington territory.
And Wilmington just is flat out not ready for these formations that Marietta's putting at them right now. And they are confused. They had Gonzalez, the linebacker, right there, just let a free release with a tight end off the ball. They're going to have to get things together here defensively.
So we got 2 by 2. Fields is in the gun, man in motion to the right. Looks past left, caught by number 88 for the Pioneers. Pick up about 4 yards. Bring up 2nd and 6.
And so as we're having a lot of substitutions here for Marietta, a lot of different formations. And they're doing it with similar packages, but just a lot of different guys, a lot of different places, and it's kind of confusing this young Quakers defense.
Fields is back in the gun, 2 in the backfield by him. Fakes a handoff, looks deep. Flag's going to be thrown. Looks like they got their feet tangled together. I don't know so much if that was a pass interference or if their feet got tangled up together.
And the officials are going to have a little huddle here again. They're going to get, and they are going to call it a pass interference. But the line judge saw exactly what you and I saw. There was no pass interference there. He's running up the field. He tries to cut in front of the DB. Their feet got tangled. That's not pass interference, but again, they're 0 for 3, I think, so far today.
Yeah. So they're going to call it pass interference, which, getting your feet tangled up is a different story of putting your hands on somebody.
Absolutely.
So, it's going to be 1st and 10 ball on 11 for the Pioneers. Wilmington's got to come out and just and pound them right here. It's 1:48 left in the first quarter. It's 7-0. Marietta Pioneers over Wilmington Quakers. Fields is going to line up in the pistol. Tanner Clark, handoff to Tanner Clark. Tanner Clark is going to pick up about maybe 5 yards, maybe 6.
And they're just methodically moving the football down the field. I don't believe I've seen Walker since that first play of the drive. I don't think he's been back out there, but as you mentioned, this Tanner Clark, he's a big, strong kid, and he's doing a good job of hitting it right up in there.
Fields takes the snap, hands off Tanner Clark. Tanner Clark's going to get all the way down to about the 2-yard line, maybe 1-yard line, maybe short of the first down here.
And he got that ball at the 5-yard line, and he just put his head down. He was hit at the 5-yard line and just drove that pile back.
We got a man down for Wilmington. It looks like, is that C.J. Thompson?
I believe it's going to be Gonzalez. I see C.J. standing up there. I believe it's going to be number 14.
Okay.
So we're going to take a break on the field here.
And we'll go to actually we're going to go to a sponsor.
Apollo Ride brings the Clinton County Fields alive. Every Friday and Saturday night now through October 28th, experience the fire-breathing sounds. On board the Sawdust school buses for a haunted ride you'll never forget. Terror in the Course, Slaughter Hotel, and the all-new Evil Asylum will chill you to the bone. Wilmington Haunted Hollow Ride, 1261 West Dalton. For more information and directions, go to WilmingtonHauntedHollowRide.com.
And that's Brian Gonzalez being helped off the field there. Looks like he has a lower leg injury. So the Quakers are going to have some young defensive guys out there with a 3rd and 1. And they need a stop desperately. 3rd and 1 at about, it looks like the 2-yard line. So need a yard for a first down. 2 yards for a touchdown. This would be a huge stop for the Quakers defense if they could force Marietta to a 4th down.
3rd and inches here. Maybe 1 here. We got Fields lined up in the pistol. Taylor Clark in the backfield. Gage Giviana. Hand off to Clark. Man, he's going to pick up the first down. It looks like they're going to give him just short of the goal line. It wasn't a bad stop there for Wilmington, but you're put in a situation here with inches, man. It's pretty hard.
And so you have Roger Walker, who's one of the best running backs in the OAC, and now you're able to bring in this Tanner Clark off the bench. I tell you what, he's had a heck of a football game. I look for them to go power right here off that right side, or maybe a little counter action off that, either one.
Hand off to Clark. Up the middle. Looking for it. Now they're going to mark him down at the half-inch line. That was a great play by Wilmington College. You know, you got to win those small battles sometimes. Get your defense, their confidence built up.
And that was a great job. Ryan Prince, number 9, he had some penetration there early on and really caused him to stutter step, turn his back, and then the Quakers were able to go forward. Like you said, that's a small battle. Prince won one of these a couple weeks ago versus Capital. Same type of situation. Stopped the touchdown, and the Quakers were able to turn it over. Big play in the game. Let's hope that can happen again here.
So that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. If you're tuning in to CampusNation.com here at Wilmington College Stadium, Townsend Field, we have Marietta Pioneers 7, Wilmington College 0. This is Wilmington College's homecoming this week. How big is the festivities around here, Ben?
Well, they had food truck row here earlier today, and still here this afternoon. You can come out and grab a bite if you're here at the game during halftime. We have all kinds of other things going on. Aggieville, you name it. And so a lot of fun things going on. A lot of alumni back in town. Fraternities and sororities, they had their annual bed race earlier this morning. A lot of fun and exciting things happening here at Wilmington. I'm looking out seeing one of my former women's basketball players, Brittany Jefferson, walking up. So all kinds of alumni giving the president a hug who's sitting in front of us. You know, that's the thing about Wilmington. Small, family atmosphere. You know, one of our alumni coming back, making sure she goes up and sees the president. But, you know, that's how it is here at Wilmington. You know, everybody, no matter where you're at, that Quaker motto, no matter what you've obtained, everybody is still part of that family and still equal. So,
yeah, it's very important. You know, I'd like to see Wilmington College right here. Big stop. right here. I'd like to see a turnover, something happen here because, you know, Coach Brian Moore and his staff here and all the kids here, they deserve it. I mean, they've worked hard this year. Wilmington, you know, of course, is they're tough this year. I mean, they play solid football. I think this season is a great building block for this
absolutely
here.
Absolutely. What a first year by Brian Moore, and again, getting a game like today's game, just helping to build on that momentum, that excitement that you were talking about. They have Walker back in the backfield and the pistol behind Fields, so he's going to smell that end zone here for him.
Man in motion. Fakes. Oh, he's wide open there. Completed to the tight end. Looks like number 88, Andrew Baker's going to slide out. Nobody was there. They play fake to the left and come back. Andrew Baker wide open in the end zone.
So just like I was thinking, that Walker coming back in the game is going to get the football. The Quakers defense is as well. It's hard being a linebacker, getting pulled up on that run fake and then having the tight end slip out behind you.
So it's 13-0 here, Townsend Field. Marietta set for the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. So it'll be 14-0 with 4:56 in the first quarter. Wilmington is going to be getting a kickoff.
Well, if there's one thing that we've learned about a Brian Moore coach team, there's one thing we learned about this team specifically. He said it here with us in an interview a couple weeks ago. They're not going to play to the blinking lights on the scoreboard. They're just going to play their game. So let's see if he's able to keep those kids believing in that, keep playing. This game is far from over. This drive, though, is a big drive right here with the confidence. If they can get down, get a score going before the half, get some confidence back, get themselves back in this game, you know, this is the big drive. This is kind of, you hate to say it this early, but this is kind of one of those do or die drives. They need to come down and get some kind of a score out of it and get some momentum going into that halftime.
You know, I see down there Coach Brian Moore down there talking to C.J. Thompson. You know, C.J. probably getting, man, you know, I know what he's feeling, you know. We know how he's feeling. You know, they get 2 touchdowns scored on the defense, you know. He's frustrated, but Coach Brian Moore looked like he calmed him down, and he said, listen, man, let's play our game.
Yep.
And let's feel comfortable. We're not playing to their game. And he said that at the sports show. He says, we're playing to our game, not their game. We'll play ours. So Pioneers' kick is up. Receive there on the 20, goes over to about the 22, 23-yard line. Who was that on the
And again, I believe that was number 10 for the Quakers on the reception there, or on the return. And again, a young wide receiver for the Quakers. We have another block below the waist.
On the kick return team, number 24.
So number 24 there, they call there for Wilmington College Quakers. You'll know, say he blocked below the waist there.
So that's the second time today we've had this call here on the Quakers. Not sure how they're going to enforce this. They're taking it back 15 yards. This should be a half the distance to the goal penalty, but they're going to take it back 15 yards anyway. So the Quakers are going to start off on this all-important drive that we talked about with almost 15 minutes, 14:49 left. They're going to start off inside their 10. So I look for Brian Moore to be safe right here. So far I've been wrong on everything I've said, so we'll see if they go deep right off this play.
We got 3 to the left. Flynn to the right. Man in motion. Credit in the gun. Credit takes the snap. Hands off to Flynn up the middle. He's going to... No, correction, that's not Flynn.
It was Gino Hinton on the carry, number 4. And you know, the defense that Marietta is in right now, they're in this 2-safety high defense where they're going to make the Quakers throw those quick short passes or run the ball continuously. The Quakers are going to have to be disciplined and make things happen. 2nd and 4 here. Credit takes. He hands off to Hinton. He's brought down right when he gets the ball there. He might lose about a half a yard. So yeah, Gino Hinton is a great running back here. He's a big, thick kid. He's a solid athlete. Big boy. And he's got some speed. When he gets the football, if he can get into that open field, he can turn on the speed and take off. So it'll be about 3rd and 3 here for the Quakers. 3 to the left.
Credit in the gun. Hinton by. Takes the snap. Fakes, he's going to pull it down. He's going to keep it. He's going to stay on his feet. He's going to get over to about the 18-yard line, pick up about 1. And brings up about 4th and 1.
A yard short there. Marietta there, they were in that double high safety. They brought the guy down, the other safety down. They brought him down into the strong safety, into the box. You know, that's where you got to be able to maybe have that run-pass option and be able to go against this defense a little bit differently. Marietta so far is kind of out-scheming Wilmington, both offensively and defensively. Young players out there not recognizing things right away.
Wilmington is going to be set to punt here. Heels are about the 2-yard line. Punt is up. Wobbly kick, fielder on the 50. He's going to bring it over to 40. Fumble!
And he gets right back on top of it. Did a good job there. Number 35, Wilson, putting his helmet on the ball on the tackle. That ball kind of bobbled, but it actually never really left his possession. Was able to jump right back on it. So they're going to have great field position. Wilmington defense got to stand up here. They're at the 38-yard line. They just were on the field, a 3 and out. This is a big, big possession defensively. I know we said that offensively, but defensively, if they can stop them, even hold them with the field goal, this is huge.
Yes, and you go about it. Wilmington College has got to put on pressure now. C.J. Thompson's got to say, listen, guys, we're going to play. Let's strap them on. Let's go. It's time to play football. Backs against the wall, but we've had our backs against the wall. Let's play football. So we got Fields there in the gun. Hands off to Walker to the left. Walker to the outside. He's going to go over the 35. Pushed out of bounds right about the 28-yard line. Walker's back on the field, man. He's a big, thick kid, isn't he?
He is strong, and he is fast, and he got that corner. And once you see that guy coming around the corner as a defensive back, you got to be maybe making some decisions. Where do I want to go on this guy? I kind of want to go low, but those are big tree trunk of legs till you go down low.
And they got a back that's, they got 2 backs that's monsters. So, line up in the pistol, Fields in the pistol. Fakes handoff, rolls left. Wilmington's going to get a big sack by number 55.
Ackley on the sack. Great pressure initially there by Ryan Prince. The defense end did a great job of getting up the field, kind of flushing him out of the pocket, and 55 Ackley there to clean it up. That was the negative play Wilmington needed after that big first down.
Now we're looking, we need a big turnover. 3rd and 7, they lose about 3 yards. Like you said, that's a big play.
Yep.
We got to have big plays. This is what it's about. Fields in the pistol. Walker in the backfield, man in motion to the left. Fake pass. Big play by number 21 there for Wilmington.
Olin Keel, the freshman defensive back, he did a great job of shedding that blocker, the receiver that he was on, shedding the blocker, getting upfield, and then broke it down and made a solid tackle. Wanted to make the big hit, but made a solid tackle. Did a real nice job. You got to wonder if they're going for it right here. They're on the plus side. Their defense has been holding Wilmington so far. It's going to be about 4th and 6, and it looks like they're going to keep the offense out there.
Yes. So here we go. The green towels are out, ladies and gentlemen. Wilmington College on defense. Marietta's ball 4th and 7. They're going for it here.
And they're going to drop back. It looks like they're going to do a little quick kick.
Yep. So you got to get away. If you're Wilmington, just get away from it. He's going to pick it up. Number 1 there, the backup quarterback. Picks up. He gets jacked up by Jackson. By Walker. Walker just lit him up. I think, that was a good play, though, and good solid by Kyle Barrett there.
And Higgins picking up that ball, that was actually, we have 2 number 1s there. Higgins was the guy, that was the cornerback.
Sorry.
Higgins, and didn't know where the ball was. The ball hit him in the back. He was still playing defense. He didn't realize they punted it. He was in man-to-man, didn't realize they punted it. Ball hits him in the back, did good awareness to pick it up and take off.
That was a great play and great stop by Wilmington College. There's 10:50 left in the second quarter here. 2 to the left, 1 to the right.
And again, Marietta kind of in that double high safety.
Flynn is back in the backfield. Hands off to Flynn. Flynn's he's gonna wrestle around. They're gonna fight for yards here. He's still going. They're moving. Look, Wilmington Quakers are fighting.
And they are fighting Quakers for a reason,
yes.
Right? He was stopped after about a yard gain, and him and his offensive lineman, they just took it amongst themselves, and they got an 8-yard gain, about 7 yards after contact.
That was great play. Wilmington credits back to pass, looks for 84, complete over the middle. That's going over the 40, over the 50, over the 40, brought down about the 36-yard line.
And we have a penalty on the play there. Finished the play out of bounds there with a big tackle. But hey, there we go, that backyard football. Matt and Luke credit. Great play design, though, by Brian Moore. They had that little bubble screen that they've run a couple times. They faked the bubble screen. Credit slips out. Matt Credit, that is, and Luke throws it to him. A big gain. And then at the end, this is going to be an even bigger game because the defender, upset about the play, finishes it out of bounds.
Personal foul on the defense. 15-yard penalty. Did you see Sterling Clark? When Eric Flynn ran up the middle and they was pushing the pile, Sterling Clark, their offensive lineman, he come up and he was jumping around. He said, this is what we're talking about. This is what football's about. And he's ready.
You need your senior leaders more than just Luke Credit. You need those senior leaders to make a play. I'm looking for P.J. Meyer to make a play here on this drive as well. He's been very quiet today.
Credit in the gun. Hands off to Flynn up the middle. He's going to pick up about 3 or 4 yards. Wilmington College had a late start, but they're driving, ladies and gentlemen.
And I tell you what, Flynn, I don't know how you feel, but I don't want to have to tackle this guy because not only is he elusive, he did a great job of making a little move in the hole, but then he finishes that run at the end, and he may be a little guy, but he puts that head down, and he has powerful, powerful legs, as we've seen.
You know, Coach Moore talks about changing the culture. You know, look at the culture around here. We got a great atmosphere. There's a lot of people coming out for Wilmington Hurricanes this year. 3 to the right. Credit in the gun. Fakes to the left. He's going to be sacked there by number 51, looks like, for Marietta.
And that was just a little bit of a busted play. They tried a little something new. We were talking about maybe getting P.J. Meyer the ball. They put him in motion, and the defensive lineman just got up the field a little too quick. But Credit couldn't get the ball out quick enough to get him the ball on that little crossing pattern.
Flynn's going to come back in at running back. We got Jackson to the right. P.J. Meyer to the right, too, as well. Credit's in the backfield. Or they got 2 in the backfield. We got Flynn and Hinton.
And again, this is 4-down territory.
Credit looks to pass over the middle, little screen pass. Picks up about 1, maybe 2 there. Completed to Hinton. So bring up about 3rd and 6. What are you going to do if you're Wilmington College here?
Well, you got to go for it here. I think there's no doubt about that. They were running that play. You see them run that play, and you know that's exactly what they're thinking is 4-down territory. They picked up a couple, a little more manageable, 4th and 6. I look for them, again, Matt and Luke. They kind of have that neat little bond. He did a great job a few games ago running that little 6-7 yard out. I look for maybe at the bottom of the screen, Matt Credit and Luke Credit hooking up.
3 to the right, 1 to the left. Credit takes the snap. He looks left. Pass complete to number 84 there.
Matt Credit.
Matt Credit. Like you said, backyard dogs.
Yeah, and that's the play. They had a lot of success. You can tell they're comfortable, just like you said, those backyard football games. But that's a play they had success earlier this year on. Now, as you keep seeing them do this a little bit, be ready for that fake and go deep. Not here in this situation, obviously, with the end zone, but something to look for later in the game.
7:51 here in the second quarter. Quakers are driving. Credit in the gun. Takes the snap. Looks right. He's going to roll right. He's going to throw it out of bounds there. That was a good play there. You know, didn't do anything stupid. He rolls out.
And
gets rid of the football.
And I think there was just a little miscommunication. He had guys breaking back across the right, only one guy coming back to the left, and I think Amir Jackson he was supposed to be the guy breaking open. He got held up by a lot of traffic, couldn't get off his bump, and that's what caused looked like nobody to be out there for Luke.
Yeah, and you could tell it was basically designed for somebody coming back across because it looks like P.J. Meyer came across to the left and broke his man across field. So, Credit in the gun, 3 to the right. We got
we're going to have timeout by Marietta,
Marietta.
And they were outflanked right there. I believe a bubble was coming, Amir Jackson.
So we're going to go to our sponsors here.
The final resting place, Haunted Junkyard, is located at 988 Polk Road in Sabina, Ohio. Their hours of operation are 8 p.m. till midnight every Friday and Saturday from now until October 28th. Prepare for torment from freaks of nature like Big Boy, Patient 5150, Dr. Nightmare, and Buffalo. New in 2017 is a second attraction, Lights Out. For more information, you can contact the Final Resting Place at 937-728-6190, thefinalrestingplace.com, or their Facebook page. The Final Resting Place, Haunted Junkyard.
Welcome back here, campusnation.com at Wilmington College Quakers, Townsend Field.
So we saw there right before the break, Marietta come out and get a timeout. They had only 2 guys on 3 receivers at the top there. Amir Jackson was that inside receiver, and I think they were going to bubble a little bit for him and just let him again be a playmaker. Look for them to get the ball in Amir Jackson's hands again here. The other person that's been a big target down this place is Pettiford, so be looking for that as well.
Flynn's in the backfield, 3 to the right. Credit takes the snap, hands off to Flynn. Ooh, he's going to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll bring up 3rd and goal, ball on about the 8-yard line.
So again, this is, I believe, 4-down territory for the Quakers. Maybe not. Maybe have to get some points on the board where they're at. But we'll see by this play call where they kind of feel that is. But again, I think we're going to go to the air. Can Luke Credit maybe make some magic with his feet? That's something he's done in these past weeks.
Exactly. I agree with you, Coach. 3 to the right, Credit in the gun. Takes the snap, fakes to him. Looks deep, he's wide open. Touchdown, Wilmington College Quakers.
P.J. Meyer.
P.J. Meyer for an 8-yard touchdown.
You know, all P.J. Meyer does is make big plays when you need it. And I tell you what, the separation he got off the line, he refused to be denied. He did a little swim stroke, took off, broke across the field. Great job by Credit firing it in there for the touchdown.
And you know, I like Luke Credit. That's his 13th touchdown of the season. And you know what? He was 4th in the OAC coming in this week in touchdowns. And you know, he's a senior. He deserves this right now, and so does the Fighting Quakers. Kick is up, and it is good. With 6:55 in the second quarter, Marietta Pioneers 14, Wilmington College Quakers 7. This atmosphere is awesome in here, man.
Oh my goodness, I mean, we have a packed crowd on our side, a good crowd on the other side. There's people standing all over the place. The parents are in tailgating before the game. We've had a great job by Wilmington creating an awesome atmosphere to this homecoming game. Great job by Wilmington Quakers, the Fighting Quakers, as we mentioned. They have not given up. They were down. You know, the defense maybe kick-started this whole thing, that last possession, getting a stop. Kyle Ackley and Ryan Prince making some stuff happen defensively there after a good, big first down play. Gets a stop on second. And then the Pioneers having to punt, and now the offense just took it methodically right down the football field with that big play from Luke and Matt Credit, the little backyard football. You know, that got them right back in this game, Chris.
Seems like the atmosphere around here, like we said, the Wilmington College Quakers played early in the year, and the attendance was around 6,000, 5,500 to 6,000 people. This is great atmosphere. There may be more people. There may be 6, 7, 8,000 people here. So Wilmington set the kick ball off on their 35. Back to receive it for Marietta there.
This is Joshua Cha, one of our best baseball players, and he's going to be our kickoff man here today. Got a big leg. Former soccer player. He's going to kick it over the Pioneers' head, taking him back inside the 5.
Over the 15, right down about the 23-yard line. That's a good job by Wilmington Quakers. Good kick.
Well, if you've been watching Wilmington in the weeks past, you know, Champ, he is money. He is leading the OAC. He hasn't missed an extra point this year, but not the biggest legs for kickoffs. Really nice to have Josh out there being able to kick it deep, and now making Marietta go the length of the field from inside their 25, about the 24.
Here we go. 1st and 10 for the Pioneers. Fields is going to be in the pistol here. Walker behind. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Looks like we got a little mixed signal here. Fields in the pistol here. Takes the snap, looks to pass. Pass over the middle, complete to number 10, it looks like.
And that was just 4 verticals right there. Number 10 with Billy Franz. And I probably murdered his last name there, but
Franz, it looks like Franz.
straight up the field, just 4 verticals there. Marietta saying, hey, we got to answer this touchdown right away. No pressure on the quarterback there. You got to have some pressure. That's a product of their running game, that they can't get some pressure.
1st and 10, Marietta's got the ball on the 47-yard line. Ball on Wilmington's 47. Fields in the pistol. Walker behind. 2 to the right, 2 to the left. C.J. Thompson showing blitz. Hands off to Walker. Walker's going over the 25, or the 35, getting down about the 31-yard line.
And so they are picking it up in chunks here on this this drive. That was about a 14, 15-yard run. The Quakers are going to have these defensive linemen make a few more plays. That was key on the last drive. Going to be key again on this drive. Good to see Brian Gonzalez back in there, though, making the tackle.
Yes, and if you're Wilmington College Quakers here, you know, we need a big turnover. Turnovers that's a huge for this football. So we got 2 to the right, 1 to the left. We got Fields in the pistol. Walker's behind. Takes the snap, hands off to Walker up the middle, but he's brought down.
And there was David Henry getting some penetration. We talked about the defensive lineman. David Henry got some penetration, tripped him up a little bit, and then they were able to get the stop after only about 3 yards. But still, Walker, he's a big, strong guy like we've talked about. He's not going down with that first contact. You got to rally guys to the football.
2nd about 6, maybe 7 for the Pioneers. They're going to stay in the pistol formation with Walker behind. Fields. Pioneers set. The handoff to Walker right up the middle. Man, he's going to pick up the first down. About 10 yards. He's ran 1 for 14, 1 for 10. He just keeps pounding them to death here.
And we've talked about his speed. We've talked about his power, but his vision. He did a great job. He was stretching that play, just a little zone read play, and he's stretching that play, and he put his foot in the ground and got upfield for about 8.
So 4:38, 14 to 7. Pioneers over the Quakers. 1st and 10 here. Ball snap, handoff to Walker. Picks up about 1. Now that was a great play. Great penetration for Wilmington College. Here's the time right here. You want to make sure. Get penetration. Put that pressure on them.
And that was, again, Ryan Prince, one of the leading our team, I believe, in tackles for loss is Ryan Prince. And he makes these big plays at this time. Marietta going quick here.
They're in the gun. Fields in the pistol here. Fake pass. Ooh, batted down. Ooh, that was a
nice
great
play by Jay Higgins in recognition. He sees the quick pass coming, does a good job of not allowing him to get separation for that little bubble screen.
He almost jumped that route. If he picks that at 6, no one's around. That was a great play by a quarterback sitting there. And that's tough. You know, you're playing off the ball. They want to run a quick pass like that. He read it, and he said, boom, jumped it.
And now it puts Marietta in 3rd and 9. Again, I believe for them this is 4-down territory. So it'll be interesting to see what they do here.
On the pistol here, Fields in the pistol, 3 to the right, 3rd and 9, 3:59 to go.
Look for a run play here still.
He runs it, going to tuck it. Walker's jumps over top. Woo! He went up. He hurdled.
Okay, so we've talked about the speed, the strength, the vision. Now we got to talk about the athleticism. What a hurdle.
But he might have hurdled 6 foot there.
He did. He got over top of it.
It's 1st down, 1st and goal, ball on about the 7-yard line. You got to shut that big rascal down. You know, put the pressure. You got to put some work on him. Marietta lines up, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Walker is in the backfield. Hands off to Walker. Boom! He was hit right there. We got a flag coming in.
And we have a flag coming in.
I think it might have been a hold if you get past there. I would say it has to be a hold.
Holding. Offense.
Yeah, it's holding on the offense. Anytime somebody beats you, what's the first thing you do? You grab him. You're like, what? Like, he's gone. And, you know, that was a great play there.
Yeah.
That's how you put him. Athleticism, a big kid, you got to get in the backfield. You got to hit him
Before he gets going, yeah.
Before he even gets going.
Yeah, if you let him get his speed going, you let him get his feet going, you're going to be in trouble. You got to stop him before he gets going. So it's going to be first and goal from the 15, or 16 it looks like here.
3 to the right, Walker in the backfield, Fields in the pistol. Fields is going to keep it up the middle. C.J. Thompson going to make a good play there, bring him down. Looks like
Brian Prince is upset with himself right there because Roger Walker, such a big, strong man. He was trying to go down on that, and he's the key. That is who Fields is reading, is Prince, the defensive end, and he bid on it. Fields did a good job of pulling it and getting the yardage back. So now we're back about where we were last time, second and goal from the 8, it looks like.
Clock is moving here in a second, 2:32. This is another small battle that Wilmington needs a win here. 3 to the left. We got Fields in the pistol. We got a timeout here. Timeout by Marietta timeout here. Hey, as we go to our timeout, we're going to take go to one of our sponsors here.
Ride brings to Clinton County Fields every Friday and Saturday night now through October 28th. Experience the fire-breathing sounds of the glorious Sawdell school buses for a haunted ride you'll never forget. Terror in the Court, Slaughter Hotel, and the all-new Evil Asylum will chill you to the bone. Wilmington Haunted Hollow Ride, 1261 West Dalton. For more information and directions, go WilmingtonHauntedHollowRide.com.
And we're back here at Wilmington College. We were just talking here during the break. It's second and goal from the 8. This is a big stop. There's 2:23 left on the clock. Marietta gets the ball to begin the second half as well. Down 7. Even if you can force a field goal here, that's a victory. So yes. Wilmington defense needs to stand up. A turnover is what we would really like.
Yes, a big turnover would be great. I think here they're going to probably run to the left. They're trying to spread them out to the right. Look back to your left side. 3 to the right. Fields and pistol. Man in motion. Hands off to Walker. We got a lot of flags though. Walker's going to go in for the touchdown, but we do have a flag down on the field.
We have an illegal shift, is I believe what happened on that play. There was 2 man in motion. No one ever reset.
And Wilmington College, they've got to eliminate that. Yes, a legal shift.
Number 77, number 10, moving at the same time.
So that's a big play for Wilmington because he just ran right through us for a touchdown. I tell you what, the big thing that Marietta's offense has done is they've gone opposite of whatever the down and distance has told you, which makes it really hard for a defense when you're looking for something specific. They're going opposite of whatever that is. I look for them to go run right here on this play, opposite of what you would think.
Yeah, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Walker in the backfield by Fields. 2:17 remaining. Fields looks to pass. Touchdown, Marietta, 19. Number 19 there on the reception.
On the reception.
And
Nick Riley, no, that's Wilmington.
Fields did a good job of waiting. There's, when you talk about a slant,
Kobe Hewlett there.
There's the first window, there's the second window. He waited, let him get through the first window into the second window, and hit him on the little slant for the touchdown.
But no, if you're Wilmington here, you got 2:13. We're going to drive down and get a touchdown. I mean, we've got to make something happen out of this. 2:13 in the second. Marietta set to kick an extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. So at 2:13 in the second, we have Marietta Pioneers 21, Wilmington College 7. Going back to Coach, what do you think, Wilmington, with 2:13? What are you going to do? You going to try to drive it, see what happens here?
Well, they're going to be aggressive. I got to imagine being down 14 and with Marietta getting the ball, that is a huge deal. So my guess is they're going to be aggressive, but a lot of times coaches like to that first play kind of see what you can get. Run a draw, run a screen, something safe, something where you're going to keep the clock running if you don't get exactly what you want. So I look for Wilmington with one of those plays, and then at some point they got to have a shot play. And with Brian Moore, he's the kind of guy that Marietta Marietta's saying, hey, that's how they're starting as well. Look for maybe the same thing they did earlier with that little bubble, slipping a guy and going deep. I mean, there's a lot of different options. It's going to be tough, though, to get big plays passing game because of the two high safeties Marietta's been playing.
And you got to keep fighting here. You got to look right here. They kick it deep here. We need a big return. Lucas Howard there kicking from the 35. Back to receive the kick is number 5, Eric Flynn. And then we have, Wilmington receives the kick. Number 10 over the 20. Get about the 22-yard line. That was number 10, Kenny Jones, a freshman running back. 5'9", 170. This will be a fast little cat there. So Wilmington takes over, 1st and 10, ball on the 23-yard line.
2:08 to go, 77 yards. Again, they have one of the better extra point kickers. Shamp's got a solid leg, so they can get a field goal, a touchdown, any of those things, but I think they're going to have to get inside their own 20 to have an opportunity at either of those.
Credits in the gun. 3 to the left, 1 to the right there. Takes the snap, looks to pass, looks right. Hit number 84 there, P.J. Meyer.
Actually, to Matt Credit.
Matt Credit, sorry.
And you know what? They're setting something up. That DV drove just a little bit harder on that 7-yard out. I'm looking for that drive hard, give him a pump fake, and go deep here at some point.
2nd and 3. Credit in the gun, takes the snap, handoff up the middle. Oh, gets about to the 35-yard line, gets a first down. Clock is stopped here on the first down. Wait till they get set here.
So for the Quakers, this isn't that big a deal because they run a hurry-up style offense all the time, so they can go in this fast mode continuously. It's something they're used to.
You get something over the middle here. It looks like they're going to stand 3 to the left, 1 to the right. They're staying in the gun. Actually, they're in the pistol. Credit takes the snap, fakes, looks to the middle of the field. He's going deep down there.
And they had bracket coverage on P.J. Meyer, and smartly so, because P.J.'s the guy that every game he breaks one of those. We got a flag at the end of the play. I didn't see it during the play, but my guess is it's holding. They're looking at Marietta's sideline. So this may stifle the Quakers' drive here.
Offense, number 26, 10-yard penalty.
So that's on Pettiford, the H-back.
So you got 1st and 20, 1:17. I'm probably doing something smart. Marietta's used 2 of their timeouts. I think they got 1 left, I believe.
So you can still be aggressive here if you're Wilmington, but again, like you said, smart aggressive.
Smart aggressive, kind of, run, something, see if you can get something big out of like a screen pass, maybe a quick run. Don't do anything deep to turn the ball over. I don't believe here. I think you got to be smart, make your adjustments at halftime, get out of this thing smart. 2 to the left, 1 to the right for Wilmington. Credit takes the snap, throws a bubble wow out to Jackson. Jackson shakes, going over the 30, going to go to about the 32-yard line, pick up about 8. That was a good play. Smart play called by Coach Moore.
And good luck tackling Amir Jackson, even if you're in a phone booth with that guy. I mean, he put about 7 moves on the guy. Did a good job, Marietta's defender, of breaking down there and making a tackle.
Credit in the gun. He looks to pass out to Jackson. He stays on his feet. He's ripping his shirt off. You got to tuck that nugget in. Tackled in by number 20. Looks like they're going to get a timeout by Wilmington College here. Would bring up about 3rd and about 8. Those was 2 good plays, good high percentage plays. If you're Coach Moore, like you say, but that's what hurts. We're driving, and how crucial is a penalty, just like a hold there?
Well, and like you said, they were driving. They had momentum. They were going right down the field, right on time, down distance, etc. And when you get set back, again, now, even they've used their first time, even if you get a first down here now, you're almost thinking field goal just because there's not enough time left for you to go the whole distance of the field unless you break a tackle. And that's what they've done. They've given Amir Jackson a chance to break a couple tackles. That time, if he breaks the tackle right away, he maybe has something cooking. But again, Marietta's going to play safe. They're going to be back in a little bit of a soft shell. They're going to have those 2 high safeties, and they're going to be dropping linebackers. So you're going to have to take something underneath, get out of bounds, save those timeouts, and try to go.
41 seconds in the second quarter. Wilmington College, 3rd and 7. Credit takes the snap. Looks right. Completed Amir Jackson. Jackson over the 50. Gets down about the 48-yard line. Wilmington College, I believe, is getting right back on the ball.
And that was that little middle screen. Great job by the Quakers. Great job by Credit taking the time to complete the pass.
2 by 2. Credit in the gun. Credit hands off to Flynn, up the middle, gets to about the 44-yard line.
And we should be having some time put back on the clock here. About 3 extra seconds after the timeout was called, came off. So it doesn't look like the officials are going to put any extra time back on, but that was one of those, hey, we've seen Marietta do it. They've been throwing the ball. Let's see if we can bust one up the middle. They're a safe play. They got 1 timeout left. Chris, they're at the 44. What do you see coming out of this timeout?
I'm thinking, second about 6. If I'm going to take a shot, something, maybe to the outside, to the sidelines, maybe like a 10-yard, maybe 15-yard out, something pushing towards the sideline. Maybe a big play, maybe a screen play. I don't know. I mean, what would you say here?
Well, if we have P.J. Myers been bracketed everywhere he went, so if the Quakers have it in their playbook, which I'm sure they do, taking P.J. Myers deep, running off a couple guys, bringing someone underneath, and maybe being able to fill that void in behind him. Deshaun Max is that guy up top. He's a playmaker as well. Let's see if that's what they go to.
Credit in the gun here. We got Jackson in motion. Credit takes the snap, looks for Jackson, but he goes deep.
That's pass interference.
We've got a man.
Wow.
Same thing happened earlier where their feet got tangled up, maybe per se. He calls it. I do believe in the middle of the route, you cannot push her in. But that's going to be 3rd and 6. Yeah, they're not going to call it.
On Sunday, with any contact after 5 yards, that's a penalty. And there, he got shoved to the ground with 2 hands. I was looking at that route. They used Jackson as kind of a bait up here early, and they were trying to throw over top. Marietta's guy got away with one.
So the college here, Wilmington College, 16 seconds. Now if you're here, if I'm Wilmington College here, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to gunsling one here. Either that or a screen here. Credit rolls right. Credit rolls back to the left, looks deep. Over the middle to number 9. Jackson gets to about the 27-yard line, brought down with 8 seconds.
And they're going to have to call their timeout.
They're going to use it. Now, if you are Wilmington here, are you kicking a field goal or are you going to go deep? Do they have the leg to kick a field goal from here?
Well, and that's going to be the
about
question.
A 43-yard attempt, 45-yard attempt, about 45-yard attempt.
Yeah. So I think the ball's spotted at the 27. So, 44, 45-yard attempt. This may be, hey, let's get a field goal, but let's do it on the next play. You have 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Get a quick out to the sideline. Maybe pick up a few extra yards, and then get your kicker in there. Or this is one of those Hail Mary type situations, possibly. Where they have the H-back in. He's up playing tight end Pettiford here. Maybe keep everybody in. We have 3 receivers at the top. I think that could be the play that we're going to see here. Roll Credit and maybe throw something back that way.
Or bring Jackson in motion backside here. Let him go 1 deep on the outside. Maybe run a 5 or 10-yard out and get a little closer. So 3 to the right. Credit in the gun. Fakes the handoff. Rolls. Looks deep.
Yes, Flynn.
Flynn wide open. Flynn. Oh my God! Quakers. What a play call! A play call by Wilmington College Quaker head coach Brian Moore.
And I tell you what, Credit making the throw. Could it have been any better throw? Could Flynn have done any better job catching it? And he got hit right as he caught the ball. Able to hold on. I tell you what, there's some seniors wanting to make sure homecoming's a fun time tonight.
This place is on fire right now. Marietta Pioneers better look out. So you have a fighting Quakers right here coming in. What a great play. That's what you want to go into halftime.
No, don't play it. We got to get other stuff going. Sorry.
Kick is up, and it is good. It makes the score. No good. So,
oh my.
Makes the score 13-21. Pioneers over Wilmington College Quakers. That was a great play. That was a great drive.
Well, and you know, the momentum going into the half has just completely flipped.
Yes.
With the Quakers going in and scoring right there, getting that touchdown. You know, that was a gutsy call because we're talking about field goal, etc. There was no time left on the clock there. That was the do-or-die play, but what a ball, what a route, what a call.
Like you said, I don't think that ball could have been thrown any better, and the route couldn't have been ran any other way, or that wasn't happening.
You hear this all the time on Sundays. They talk about Aaron Rodgers and these guys dropping the ball in the bucket. Luke Credit dropped that ball in the bucket.
In the bucket.
And it wasn't even a 10-gallon bucket. What a pass. What a job by Flynn catching the football as well.
So an overview of your first half here. We got Marietta 21, Wilmington 13 first downs. Marietta has 11. Wilmington has 11. Rushing yards, we got Marietta 19 for 145. Wilmington 19 for 42. Passing, we have Marietta with 102. Wilmington leads that with 179. Total offensive plays, 28 for 247 for Marietta, 37 for 221 for Wilmington.
All right, and going down to some of the individuals with rushing, we had Roger Walker, 9 rushes for 107 yards. He's averaging 11.9 yards a carry. Fields, 4 carries for 24 yards. His long is 16, and then Tanner Clark, 6 rushes, 19 yards, and again, we talked about him. What a good job he's done. For Wilmington rushing, Flynn, 10 rushes, 33 yards, 3.1 average. Gino Hinton, 2 rushes for 7 yards, 3.5 per carry, and Credit, they've shut him down today. 7 rushes, 16 total yards. He's had 12 yards lost, so his net is only 4 yards. But he is, as you said, winning that passing with 14 of 18 for 179 and 2 touchdowns. He has had the 2 sacks, the long of 42 yards, and what a touchdown pass that was to Eric Flynn. Actually, that was a 27-yard pass there. But in Fields passing 8 of 9, again, high percentage guy. We see why. 8 of 9, 102 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's been sacked once. And then the receivers, Billy Franz, 2 receptions, 28 yards. Andrew Baker, 2 for 20. Bobby Cashall, 2 for 19. Roger Walker, 1 for 22. He also had that fumble on that, and Cashall is the one with the touchdown. Amir Jackson, 7 for 81, long of 25. Matt Credit, 3 for 57 with that big 42-yard catch. Eric Flynn, the 1 catch, the big one, 27 yards for a touchdown. And then P.J. Meyer, again, 1 catch. 8 yards, but a touchdown. So.
I think you better look out for PJ, too. They better look out. I think they're keying on him, like you said. He went down the middle early, and you said, hey, they had to cover it up, lock down, safety over top, corner on his near hip.
Yeah.
You said that, hey, they're locking him down.
Yeah, and they're going to bracket him, I think, all game. You have to. He's got too much speed, too much strength off the line. He's going to push guys off the line. But right there on that last play, They thought that P.J. Meyer was going deep, and you saw 3 guys go with him. I'll be honest, I did too. I thought we were dropping deep to throw it deep, and then a good job of getting Flynn out in the flat. P.J., though, maybe we got to get him on some underneath stuff. I mean, he is a feisty guy. He's hard to bring down. Give him a couple opportunities early on. But maybe just satisfied to use him as a decoy the whole game. As long as you're taking coverage away from other guys, maybe that's why Amir Jackson's getting all those targets early on.
Well, we will be back here for the second half. We got 17 minutes before the second half starts here on CampusNation.com. If you're just tuning in, we have Marietta 21, the Quakers 13. Great ball game. So, like I said, we will be back on.
And we'll give you a chance here to listen to the Hall of Fame presentations here. Wilmington College with homecoming is also doing some Hall of Fame presentations. We're going to let you listen to that here live.
Alex Vanderslice, class of 2007. Alex Vanderslice took a year before he finally followed his intuition to attend Wilmington College. Once he stepped foot on the lush grass of Charlie Gilhard Field, Vanderslice made an immediate impact. He was a three-time first-team All-Ohio Athletic Conference selection and was named OAC Forward of the Year twice. Vanderslice was a key offensive figure on a team that won Wilmington's only Ohio Athletic Conference championship in 2004. The forward tallied 10 goals and 10 assists en route to earning his first Forward of the Year award. He finished his career with 29 goals and 20 assists. After graduating with a Bachelor of Science degree in Communications and Sports Management, he spent a year playing professionally with the Cincinnati Kings. He went on to be a graduate assistant at Defiance College and then took over the men and women's soccer programs as a head coach. He returned to the Dayton area to work in development and coach high school soccer at Chaminade Julian High School, and is currently working remotely as a success manager for a Silicon Valley startup company. Vanderslice resides in Dayton with his wife of 6+ years, Paige. Ladies and gentlemen, Hall of Famer Alex Vanderslice. Next up, we have Mike Wallace, who is currently unavailable to the game because he's coaching at the University of Dayton. But Mike Wallace is the second winningest coach in Wilmington College football history and was at the helm of the football team in Wilmington's NCAA era. He took over a program with 9 players on the roster in 4 months to build the school's first NCAA team. The Fighting Quakers took the field in 1991 with 36 players and finished 1-9, but it only took 2 more seasons before WC posted its first winning record. His teams continued to be explosive offensively throughout his tenure. The top 2 quarterbacks statistically in school history played under Wallace, and the second best running did as well. 3 of the top 5 offensive seasons came with Wallace at the helm. Wallace coached 7 Hall of Famers in his illustrious career. The great people behind him embraced his ideas and the metaphors that he constantly preached to his teams. For Wallace, every big game was a 15-round title fight, and each team was going to throw and land some big punches, but you had to persevere. Wallace fought, bobbed, and weaved, and now that the bell is rung, he is standing tall as a champion and as a Hall of Famer. Ladies and gentlemen, Hall of Famer Mike Wallace. Next up, Ashley Johnson Wolf. Ashley was from the class of 2007. She is now the second Hall of Famer in her household and becomes a part of the first husband and wife tandem to grace the Wilmington College Hall of Fame. From the time she walked across the stage at graduation, this moment was inevitable. She is one of the most acclaimed track and field athletes in Wilmington College history, and she has the honor of being a first ballot Hall of Famer. She claimed the 2006 NCAA Division III Outdoor National Championship and is a 2-time All-American. With the misty rain seemingly getting to many competitors, Wolf knew she needed to remain focused and calm on the job at hand during the 2006 championships. As competitors began to fall and Wolf kept advancing without a miss, she knew something special was brewing. Then there were 3 competitors left. Her initial goal of earning All-American secured, she had a new goal in her sights. In her 7 All-Ohio Athletic Conference meets, Wolf never finished lower than 4th. It was a 3-time champion and 6-time OAC honoree. She is also a 3-time All-Ohio champion and a 5-time All-Ohio honoree. Wolf still holds Wilmington College indoor and outdoor records. She resides in Wilmington with her husband Kyle and their 3 children, Miles 6, Lydia 4, and Clay 2. Ladies and gentlemen, Hall of Famer Ashley Johnson Wolf. Let's give a final round of applause for the Hall of Famers and President Jim Reynolds and Terry Rupert. And now your 2017 Wilmington College Homecoming Court. Our freshman attendants are Hannah Rickman and Caleb McCready. Hannah is from Pickerington, Ohio, majoring in biology. She is the daughter of Marcia and Jeffrey Rickman. Hannah is a member of the women's basketball team. Caleb is from Lancaster, Ohio, majoring in environmental science. He is the son of Don and Michelle McCready. He is a member of the football and track teams. Our sophomore attendants are Jen Cochran and Jesse Shell. Jen is from Wilmington, Ohio. She's double majoring in education and biology with a concentration in life sciences. She's the daughter of Jim and Stephanie Cochran. Jen is a resident assistant, sophomore class Y student, sophomore class honors advisory board representative, co-adopted school chair for the Service Learning Executive Board, member of Chi Alpha, and a new member of Kappa Delta. Jesse is from Covington, Ohio, double majoring in agriculture, concentration in animal science and education, with minors in religion and philosophy. He is the son of Kim and John Shell. He is a member of the Aggies in Collegiate 4-H, the International Club, and the Model Arab League. Our junior attendants are Shelby Callie Dodds and T.J. Burbage.
Yes, and then I will call off work this morning.
Shelby is from Greenfield, Ohio, majoring in animal science and education with a minor in chemistry. She is the daughter of Chris and Michelle Dodds.
I will, as soon as I get to the
Shelby is a member of Kappa Delta, Phi Alpha, Service Learning Executive Board, and is the Relay for Life co-coordinator.
I'll be part of that show.
She also serves as the Wilmington Yearbook editor. It's in the Standard, WC Corral, part of Residence Life, and she is a Quaker Heritage Center assistant. TJ is from Cincinnati, Ohio, majoring in athletic training. He is the son of Tom and Tracy Burbage. He is a member of Lambda Chi Alpha, American Medical Student Association, AMSA, and the Honors Program.
Don't get back home, bro.
I'm just driving to Columbus.
And now for the senior attendants. First up, we have Savannah Hooper, Eric Flynn, and Tiffany Schaefer. Savannah is from Wilmington, Ohio, majoring in biology with the
Welcome back to Wilmington College. We're having the homecoming festivities right now. And here soon we're going to be having the naming of the new homecoming king and queen for Wilmington. My vote right now is for the young man at midfield, Eric Flynn. After what a play right before halftime that he had. He may be having an exciting last 10 minutes between that last play and then also being nominated for homecoming queen. But Chris, just talking a little bit about some of the things that happened in that first half. You're looking at some of these stats, and we're seeing Wilmington's offense is able to go down the field. They got a lot of yards racked up, but those first couple drives where they got stopped early, those are maybe going to come back to haunt them a little bit. You have the missed extra point at the end of the half. You know, that's something that, when are you going to go after those points? Are you going to do it right away on the next touchdown, which hopefully there is a next touchdown? A lot of questions, but I look for really the adjustments that are happening in the locker room right now are on the defensive sides for both football teams, because again, you're seeing offenses going up and down the field at will. What kind of adjustments does Wilmington's defense have to make versus Marietta to get some stops?
I think if you're Wilmington, they're going to go in there and make these adjustments on the defense side of football, big time defense. Looked like the offense just got a slow start. I mean, they've made some nice drives, a couple turnovers, things just didn't work out for them. But I believe that Coach Philly is going to go in. Coach Philly's a great coach, great defense coordinator, assistant head coach there. Coach Philly's going to make those adjustments. He's going to go in there and say, listen, guys, they're eating us up on the run. There's no giveaway. It's a dead giveaway, I mean. They're eating us up. So what we have to do, we have to start, maybe blitzing a little bit more, getting penetration, mix things up, maybe run some X stunts up front in the line, start washing them away. So make that offensive line have to move to you instead of you move to them.
And sometimes in these situations, you got to go back to the fundamentals. I know I can't tell you how many times I've been in the locker room at halftime and you go, guys, we just got to go back to these fundamentals. And right now, we've been talking about the guesswork between, Marietta. Every time they're supposed to run, they throw, and every time they're supposed to throw, they run. They've really kept Wilmington off balance. So how do you get back with that? You go back to your fundamentals. You're not guessing. You're just playing. You're reading your keys. You're playing, but you're not overdoing any one thing. And then get lucky on a few of those blitzes and blitz right into some things that they're trying to do. That's the other thing. If you coach Philly, he isn't going to get too excited. He's been around this. He understands that they hit on everything they wanted to hit on in the first half. That isn't going to happen. Again, I've been in that situation. They've made a bunch of threes in the first half, and the adjustment is, guys, they're not going to keep making those threes. They got lucky on a few things, going away from what we were doing.
Going back out to the homecoming festivities here, look at Big Dave Henry walking across there. Looks like he's up a little bit for something.
So another one up for the homecoming queen, David Henry. Again, David Henry, what a fantastic individual. There's a page in the program talking about Dave Henry. He was our OAC Student Athlete of the Month. And guys, student really summarizes David. This guy, he's not only a student of the game of football, but he is a student first here at Wilmington, and he credits that a lot to his late mother, who you hear battled cancer. He was wanting to give up the game, but he said he couldn't give that up. But he takes that approach not only on the football field, but then he also takes that approach into his everyday life, into the classroom, and he puts everything into it. I believe the guy has a 4.0 or a 3.97, something like that. I saw, he's a fantastic student. He's been a scholar athlete as well, not just here, but also on the regional, and two-time academic All-American and two-time Arthur Ashe Scholar, sports scholar. So, and here's the announcement of the king and queen.
Brandon Williams Johnson.
Brandon Williams Johnson, the athletic trainer the senior athletic trainer for the football team.
Brittany Montgomery.
And Brittany Montgomery is the queen for Wilmington College as well. So pretty neat that those two get that. You see last year's king and queen handing off that honor. So David and Eric, they don't care about winning.
They want to win this football game.
They want to win this football game. And again, it's going to take some of that knowledge that we talked about with David, an academic guy. He's going to have to put some of that into work here. I look for that to be the biggest thing. What adjustments coming right out of half? And I think if you're Coach Philly, you're excited that you're on defense first, because you get that first opportunity to go out there and say, these are the adjustments that we're going to make. Let's see how they work. You get a chance. Again, we talked about in the first half, pinning a team deep, getting a chance then to get the ball for your offense in better field position. That would be huge if Wilmington could get 3 and out and get the ball back to their offense.
Exactly here. So we're going to go to our sponsor here. If you're tuning in here on campusnation.com, there's 3:11 till we start the second half. 21-13, Marietta Pioneers over Wilmington College Quakers. Here's a little shout out to our sponsors.
The final resting place, Haunted Junkyard, is located at 988 Polk Road in Sabina, Ohio. Their hours of operation are 8 p.m. till midnight every Friday and Saturday from now until October 28th. Prepare for torment from freaks of nature like Big Boy, Patient 5150, Dr. Nightmare, and Buffalo. New in 2017 is a second attraction, Lights Out. For more information, you can contact the Final Resting Place at 937-728-6190, thefinalrestingplace.com, or their Facebook page.
So we're back here, Chris. The Wilmington Quakers coming back onto the field. We got about 2:15 before the second half kicks off. Again, Wilmington will be kicking off to Marietta. We talked about a little bit of these defense adjustments. Offensively, Wilmington has that momentum, but what do you see Wilmington needing to do here in this second half versus Marietta?
Man, they're going to have to control the ball. keep the ball out of Marietta's hands. They got big running backs. They have a backup running back there. He was solid. That kid was a big kid.
Yeah, Tanner Clark, I believe, is the young man you're talking about, number 9.
And I think he runs just as hard as the Walker kid. You have Fields. He's a decent quarterback. I mean, they haven't done so much, per se, in the passing game, but that run game they have really opens up their pass game.
Yeah, and he's 8 of 9, so when he gets an opportunity to throw the football, and he's completing 70%, so that's not an anomaly. You know, he's 8 of 9, completing 70% on the year. It doesn't look like he passes a lot, but when he does, he's accurate. They get it out quick, and they have a good group of receivers that not only can get the ball, but then they make some plays with it.
Well, if you're tuned in, we haven't really said our names too much here. This is Alan King. He's assistant women's basketball and softball coach here at Wilmington College, and me, Chris Weisskopf. I did the play-by-play the first half, and Coach did the collar, so now Alan's going to do the play-by-play this half, and I'm going to do a little bit of collar, so I hope you guys tune in. You're liking what you're here. These things we do each and every week. Cover a lot of the Wilmington College home games, pretty much every one of them. We have a sports show every Thursday night featuring Coach Brian Moore and a couple players or coaches, and also Wilmington Hurricanes high school team and East Clinton Astro high school football team come and join that show. We run an hour segment from 7 to 8 o'clock each and every Thursday. So please, if you can, on each and every Thursday, come back and tune in, please.
Well, they're set to kick up. Off right here, Josh Schwa going to kick off. Again, the baseball player turned kicker. Going to see if we can get a deep kick here again. Marietta back to receive. Looks like up man number 6 is going to take it. No, that's number 9. That's that running back getting his opportunities up and over the 40 to the 41-yard line from Marietta, so they will have great field position. Again, that was Tanner Clark with the ball. Didn't have him highlighted before the game, but my goodness, he is having a big game, isn't he?
What a big monster game. And Tanner Clark, stepped in there for Walker there when he was hurt for a second. And, he's as big as Walker. Where do they get these guys from?
I don't know. And you understand, though, when you watch Walker run, why he's maybe sitting behind them a little bit, but there's not that much difference. It's not that negligible. So here comes the Pioneers. 2 to the top of the screen, 2 to the bottom in the pistol. And Fields take the snap, going to hand it off up the middle, and he's going to get Walker trying to leg tackle him. It's going to take a host of Quakers, including C.J. Thompson.
Look at the Hurricanes. They're swarming. Like we said, we have got to swarm to the ball. We've got to get to the ball. Well, and that's exactly what they did. They must have.
We did have a former Hurricane, David Henry, in on that tackle, but it was the Quakers swarming there, Chris.
Oh, sorry.
You're used to doing the Wilmington High School games as well.
Sorry.
That's all right. Walker off to the right. The low snap to Fields. He controls it. Got the tight end right over the middle, number 89. Gonzalez in there trying to rip the ball out, but Gonzalez and Wilson in on the tackle.
So if you're the Quakers here, we have got to make a big play here. Force a turnover.
And that was Bobby Cashaw. Again, he had a touchdown in the first half. Did a good job there getting open. Little quick hitter.
Yes.
Marietta trying to go fast, Coach.
So it looks like David Henry in there, the middle linebacker.
And a little screen pass out.
Brought down ran out of bounds there by number 33.
We had a lot of fans there asking for a hold.
Trey-Quez Parks, wasn't it, there on a stop, I believe?
Yes, it was. So it'll be Marietta ball here. 1st and 10 at the 23, and they're moving quick, Chris.
Yes, they've been running this all day, quick offense.
So in the pistol, he's going to stop and look over at the sideline. He's got 3 receivers to the bottom, 1 to the top, and he's in the pistol. Hand off up the middle to Walker. And that is Ackley, number 55, on the tackle. Straight up the gut for 8.
They're too much. They're allowing too much. The first play they come out, Walker runs a 1-yard game. Quakers swarm all over the football. And all of a sudden now here it is,
And again, trips to the bottom of the screen. You have 1 at the top and then the pistol. And Wilmington's offsides. They got a free play. They're going to swing it out here to Van Meter. He makes a couple guys miss, and then he is stopped dead in his tracks by C.J. Thompson. He's going nowhere.
C.J. is an animal there. He came up. What a big play there by C.J. He really filled that play.
The bad news is it's going to be a first down anyway because it was a offsides on Wilmington, or I'm pretty sure it's going to be an offsides on Wilmington. So it's from 2nd and 1 to first down and goal.
Offsides.
Yeah. Got encroachment. Bring up 1st and 10 for Marietta. 13 minutes here in the third quarter. Start of your third quarter.
So it's going to be Marietta's ball. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line. And it looks like we're going to have 2 to the right, 1 to the top. We're going to have the tight end just offset in a little pistol formation there with Roger Walker. Fields takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Walker right up the middle. He's got room, and he's going to scamper in for a touchdown, and that was just too easy, Chris.
He just went. He took 2 cuts, and he was in the end zone. Now, if you're Wilmington College, you got to put that behind you. We've got to come down. We got to score. We've got to get the ball back. Right here, we'd like to see a little block extra point or maybe a miss here due to last, possession. We missed our extra point. That way,
That would be huge to get a little missed extra point.
Small victories.
So I believe that is number 52, Jimmy Imbreska, kicking the extra point. It is up, and it is good. So with 12:35 left in the third quarter, it's Marietta 28, Wilmington 13. Chris, how important is this? And we'll talk about this when we come back. We're going to take a little break and listen to one of our sponsors.
The Ride brings to Clinton County Fields alive. Every Friday and Saturday night now through October 28th, experience the fire-breathing ceremonies. Come aboard the Sawdust school buses for a haunted ride you'll never forget. Terror in the Core, Strawberry Hotel, and the all-new Evil Asylum will chill you to the bone.
All right, and we're back here. Marietta getting set to kick the ball off. And it looks like we're going to see a different kicker here kicking the ball off. The young man that just kicked the extra point is who is going to be kicking it off again. And Wilmington has Flynn and Baker back deep. So we saw in the first half a different kicker for Marietta. He was the one young man, the number 97, that was able to get that onside kick. Logan Allward that was nullified by a blocking penalty. But here we go. Quakers set to receive the kick. Hopefully we can get this ball in Flynn's hand and see if he can do a little something with it. And the kick, there it is, deep, and it is going to be Flynn at about the 10-yard line. Backs up to take it. He's up over the 20. He's got a hole, and there he goes up the middle, and he's at the 35-yard line. Flynn did a great job of reading those blocks and getting up the field.
Great return there for Flynn there. Coming out 2:29 here in the third quarter. Wilmington's got to put something together, and good field position starting out that's the key to the ticket.
A little middle block there, and he just found the hole and squirted through it. So Hinton's going to start this drive after Flynn's nice return here as the back. P.J. Meyer and Pettiford to the top. We have Matt Credit and Amir Jackson's out at the bottom, and again Hinton off to Credit's left. Credit calling out the signals. Taking a snap, going to hand it off to Hinton up the middle, and Hinton goes for about a half yard, and that's all. Right away, 96 was there for the tackle for Marietta.
So that brings up about 2nd and 9 for Wilmington.
So Chris Otto on that tackle. I tell you what, Chris, they have been in the backfield all day long, haven't they? That defensive line. Credit and Hinton and Flynn have made a miss a little bit, but the Quakers' offensive line, they're going to have to block a little bit better here in the second half. So 2 receivers at the bottom, 2 to the top. Hinton again off to the left of Credit. Credit calling out the signals, taking the snap. He's going to hand it to Hinton off to the outside. He's got a block. There he goes, over the 50 to the 40. Got to make a man miss, and he can't do it, but he is down inside the 35.
What a good play call. What a good run there. You got Hinton, you got Flynn. Flynn's done a great job. Hinton's done a great job. We talked about the duo, the 2 great running backs. How great is that, man?
And here come the Quakers quick. Credit again calling the signals 2 by 2. Fakes the handoff. He's got Pettiford out in the flats. He's going to get about an 8 or 9 yard gain there on first down. Good job catching the ball and getting up the field by Malik Pettiford.
So nice. He's a Washington Courthouse guy right there. He's a local kid from high school.
Local boy making good. Here we go. Credit again, getting them quickly into the line. We have 3 down at the bottom of the screen. Possibly look for that little flare to hear Amir Jackson. Credit takes the snap. He's got PJ Meyer. Now he steps up. Credit's going to go. He's making a man miss. And he's down inside the 10. Nice run by Credit.
That was a wonderful, and that's the thing about Credit. You know, he can throw the ball, he can run the ball. You know, and he scored one of the touchdowns today. He's looking to get in the end zone. He's hungry.
And we talked about him being a bulldozer right there. He showed the dancing feet. Here we go again, 2 by 2. Got Hinton off to his right, taking the snap. And we are going to have a false start on the Quakers.
Ooh, and see, that hurts right there. You know, go from first and goal on the 10, or maybe 9 to first and goal on the 14. I mean, but Wilmington makes big plays, though.
Chris, with the defensive play in this game, do you think that there's any chance that this isn't 4-down territory, though? Is there any chance of a field goal here? I think they're going for it unless it's 4th and 15.
No matter what, they're going to. You know, Coach Moore, he's wanting to get in the end zone. He knows what his Quakers are all about.
But right now it's 1st down and goal from the 15-yard line. 2 by 2, Credit. And fakes the handoff. He's got PJ Meyer catches it, and what are we going to call this? A completion, incompletion. He's laying on the ground when the ball got punched out, and that was actually Matt Credit, number 84.
Great catch.
Absolutely.
That could have been pass interference. He was all over him. I believe that could have been pass interference there. The guy gives him the catch. He has both feet down. He catches the football. That was a great job.
And here we go. Credit going again quick, faking the handoff up the middle. He has Amir Jackson covered up. He has PJ Meyer. Did he keep both feet in? PJ Meyer kept both feet in, did a little tiptoe along the back line. Touchdown Quakers. So PJ Meyer, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns.
Just like he ate. Same thing, just like he's ate. Every week he comes up with those big plays.
Yep.
PJ just knows when to hit them.
So here the Quakers not chasing points here early on. They're going to go for the extra point. Champ, that was only his first miss all year. Champ back to kick here. Credit with the hold. We have the snap. It's down, and it's up, and it is good. Kevin Champ. So with 10:06 left in the 3rd quarter, we have 28 Marietta, 20 Wilmington.
Shout out to our sponsors here.
The final resting place, Haunted Junkyard, is located at 988 Polk Road in Sabina, Ohio. Their hours of operation are 8 p.m. till midnight every Friday and Saturday from now until October 28th. Their performance from freaks of nature like Exploitation, 5150, Dr. Nightmare, and Buffalo. New in 2017 is the second attraction, Lights Out. For more information, you can contact the Final Resting Place at 937-728-6190, thefinalrestingplace.com, or their Facebook page.
So we are back. Wilmington College here on homecoming. We're playing shout, and that's exactly what the Quakers have these fans doing after that drive. Josh Schwa getting ready to kick the ball off. He's going to set it.
It's incredible out here today. Look at all the fans supporting the Wilmington Quakers. This is some of the biggest fans most fans I've seen here in a long time.
And you said that Coach was trying to change the culture. Would you say it looks like that's beginning to happen?
The culture's changing. We have a lot of green towels waving around, and the Quakers are putting on a show, baby.
And here goes Josh with the kickoff. He's got it deep, and we're going to have a false start on the Quakers. We have had a few interesting calls here today, but that was absolutely the correct call.
I think they're excited, you know, getting out in front of the ball. They want to go hit somebody, but you know what? You get a little 5-yard penalty there. But I like to see someone excited about getting down the field and make a play.
Absolutely. These guys, and you got to be if you're going to be on that kickoff team, right? That is hard getting down the field. They're going to come together. We're going to have more huddles today from the officials than we've had from either side. Both teams going no-huddle football, but we've had the officials huddle about 5 or 6 times already today. They're going to come again.
Deshaun Maddox there as a freshman there.
The whistle was blown prior to the kick.
So now they're calling no penalty on the play. The whistle was blown prior to the kick. If there's no penalty, they're still making them kick off from the 30-yard line.
It's going to be the 35 if there's no penalty.
So It has been an interesting day for the men in stripes today. They get it right. Here we go. We're going to have the ball at the 35-yard line for the kick. Again, Josh Schwa, one of the best baseball players in all of the Ohio Athletic Conference, going to be kicking off, doing his new duty of playing football.
Ryan Van Meter back to receive the kick for Marietta.
And Schwa gets it deep, and it is going to be to number 19. He fumbles the ball. It's going to go into the end zone. He can't kneel it there because he never had possession outside of the end zone. So he's going to take a knee. Ball going to be out then to the Quakers. We have a little jawing going on. Coach Moore's not going to allow that to continue. So it will be Marietta's ball, 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
I want to say again, after the game today, we'll have Coach Brian Moore coming up here, give a little post-game interview. So please stay tuned, even right after the game. Hopefully the Quakers come away with a big win here.
Absolutely. Always more fun to talk to Coach after a big win, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
We also have Herman Madness. If you're going to be in town at 11 o'clock tonight, Herman Madness, there's a bunch of giveaways, a $10,000, a $60,000. You want to get in and check out the men's and women's basketball team. Little selfish plug there. Here we go. Fields in the pistol. 2 to the bottom, 2 to the top. He's going to fake the handoff. He has a man on a slant, and it's going to be a 12-yard gain, and I believe that is Alex Smith. We talk about the running backs. It is number 8, Alex Smith. We talk about the running backs. Their wide receivers has some pretty good size there, too. 6'1", 205.
Paris Weathersby there got burnt there for Wilmington. He let him on the inside of him. He didn't play. He didn't deny and play backside of him. We're like, it's tough for a freshman DB. We got a lot of freshmen here at Wilmington.
So again, they are in the pistol. They have 2 wides to the right. They've got a man in motion going back to the left. They're going to fake the handoff again. They have a jailbreak screen in there that just throws it short. Fields, a very accurate quarterback, just put that one short.
Looks like the Wilmington College safety there. PJ Meyer, CJ Thompson looked like he was playing hook to curl. We had a safety going over the top. I don't know who was on him, but it looked like they was in his zone. Well, looked like the cornerbacks was playing press up front in the flats. I don't know.
And in that first half, Higgins jumped that little route, so that was probably something off of an adjustment at halftime.
Yeah.
2 down to the bottom, 2 to the top. We have the pistol again here. Fields takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Roger Walker. Walker going to make a man miss. He's going to take a couple guys to get him down. There's a whole host of Quakers there, and they're going to stop him at about the 39-yard line.
Quakers are swarming, and I like the defense. When they swarm the football, they play together like a team should. And that's the thing. They keep fighting, and that's what I love about it. The crowd is on their feet.
And Coach Philly, he's got these guys running from sideline to sideline on every play. Now, you got to tackle Walker. This is one of those, we're seeing 3 wides to the bottom. Walker also offset to the right. We have 1 to the top. They've been running that little slant, and Higgins is giving them about an 8-yard cushion. Fields taking the snap. He's going to drop back. He's got a man on an out. Now he's got a rush. And the Quakers are shooting for the tackle here. Ryan Prince and a host of Quakers in for the tackle. And now we have a penalty.
Oh, 10 guys. And I think sometimes when you swarm it, they're going to call down here. I think they're going to call a penalty. Let's see what it is. You can't call that, I don't think. I don't believe. there was a swarming, and kids just get held up, I don't think.
Let's see what the call is going to be. A guy diving on top of the pile, I think, is what he's calling. Now he's looking at Brian Moore. He might be telling him a guy is ejected from the game. Either that or he's asking him about making a call.
Foul.
Tripping on the offense.
Tripping on offense.
So here we have fans, we have SIDs in the board going absolutely nuts. And he has no idea what the call is, but he goes nuts too, all right?
I think it's against Wilmington though, because the play it is. But
and when he dropped it in that pile, he must have been looking in the pile and something happened in that pile, that tripping call. Hey, we'll take it. Big stop right there for the Quakers. Get off the field. Ryan Prince and a host of Quakers in on that tackle. Now it'll be Marietta dropping back to kick with about 8:24 left in the clock. PJ Meyer back to receive this kick.
20-28 here.
Let's hope PJ Meyer can get loose. Oh, and he's not going to be able to, but that's going to be all right because he kicked it.
Ball's out about the 50-yard line. Wilmington's taking over 1st and 10.
So about a 12-yard punt there for Marietta. And again, not what Marietta needed. You know, momentum looks like it's wearing a green jersey right now, Chris.
Yes, there we go. Wilmington's taking over first and 10, 8-11, 20-28. Wilmington's defense, they made their adjustments. They come out, score. Marietta comes out and scores. But you know what? Coach Riley says, you know what? We got to settle it down.
How big was it to get them behind down and distance? Here, the Quakers, they're going to need to stay ahead of that down and distance here. We have 2 to the bottom, 2 to the top, and they're in the pistol. Credit taking the snap, faking the handoff. He's dropping back. He's got a man deep. He's going for P.J. Meyer, but he overshoots him and almost with an interception. That would be the safety from Marietta, number 5, Zargaza, and he has his third in the league in interceptions.
I still think P.J. got a little held up there. I think they grabbed him just a hair, but it was a good play by the defensive back.
There's Luke Credit having some trust in another guy, right?
Yeah,
and just saying, hey, you go make a play for me. So here come the Quakers, 2nd and 10 from the 50-yard line. 2 to the bottom, 2 to the top. Offset with Eric Flynn to the left. Quakers going to hand the ball off up the middle to Flynn. Not much there, and immediately on the tackle is number 32, Garrett Davis, the junior linebacker who is first on their team in tackles with 48 coming into this game. I'm sure he has a lot more. P.J. Meyer's actually not out there, Chris. I just spotted him on the sideline. He's got cramps, it looks like. He is hopping around.
So we got, of course, Mayor Jackson had a big game. What are you playing that you think is going here?
Well, I think Luke Credit may be looking for that brother Matt Credit. So here's a big third down for the Quakers early in this half. 3rd and 10 from the 50-yard line. Taking the snap. We got a whole bunch of people coming. He has a wide open Matt Credit.
You called it. You called it.
And I tell you what, the old backyard connection comes through there for a gain of about 15, Chris.
That was a great call by you, Coach. You sat there, and when P.J. Meyer's out, the number 1, what's he go to? He goes to the backyard dome.
Well, who better than your brother to look for when you're in a tough situation? Amir Jackson checking back into the football game. Luke is going to give him the call. Official stepping over the football to pause for a minute. Trips to the top of the screen. Flynn to the right of Credit. Credit taking a snap. He's got one-on-one coverage. He's got number 82, and he just overshoots number 82 there for the Quakers. And I tell you what, he might have overshot him because I'm not even sure exactly who that is for the Quakers. Keyshawn Yorker, the freshman. I should know him. I had him in class. He's a great young man. Keyshawn Yorker did a great job of running his route. Maybe him and Luke just haven't had enough practice time when you get a little farther down that roster. So we have Dylan Volts out there as well, number 16 at the top of the screen. 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. We have Flynn off to the right. And we're going to see a handoff to Flynn. Flynn makes a man miss. Now he's out in the loose. He's over the 20-yard line down to the 19. What a run by Flynn.
What a play call there. You know, run and a play call, both. That was great. Pick up about 15 yards in a big spot of the game. We're driving the tide of this game.
And immediately they're going to a no-back set. And again, you got a lot of different guys out there right now that haven't been playing a ton. They're moving each other around, talking. Here's Credit. Empty set, 2 to the bottom, 3 to the top. Look for a quarterback run here from Credit. Dropping back. That's exactly what it's going to be. He's going to take off up the middle. He's got the outside. He's got the 10. And a big shot by Luke Credit, but he is down at about the 7-yard line. I tell you what a run by Credit, and his brother Matt threw a block for him there. You can tell there's some brotherly love. He didn't get through the whiff. He threw a nice block. Good job by the receivers downfield, but a good job. This offensive line is starting to fire off, Chris.
Yes, these Quakers, hey, they're driving. We got some fighting Quakers up here in Clinton County, baby.
So 1st and goal at the 7-yard line for the Quakers. Credit in the shotgun. He's going to drop back. He's got a man one-on-one at the top of the screen. He's getting held. This is going to be pass interference again, going back to Matt Credit.
Probably going to be, what is it, half the distance to the goal, bring him back to the 3-yard line?
And I think in college, because, and I might be wrong, but because it's in the end zone, I believe it's going to go to the 2.
That would be nice. That would be cool.
We'll see what that call is.
Let's go back down to the officiating crew. Pass interference defense.
Pass interference in the end zone. Ball will be placed at the 2.
You're right. So it'll be placed at the 2.
It'll be placed at the 2 then because it happened in the field of play. So 1st and goal for the Quakers at the 2-yard line.
If you're the Quakers, are you running here?
I tell you what, that spread out, that works pretty well with, your fullback / quarterback with Credit.
Yeah,
so, but they have 2 to the top and 2 to the bottom with Hinton off to the left.
Hinton's in the backfield. I think they're going to give it off here to Hinton, I'd say.
Marietta's packed in there, so Credit, he pulls it. He has a man, and it's Matt Credit for the touchdown.
So, hey, the dogs right there.
And Matt is quickly calling out, we're going for two, boys. Again, we talked earlier about what do you do in this situation. Right here we go. 26-28, Quakers are down to 6:08 left in the game. Officials coming to ask which hash you want. And in college, this is big. Which hash do you choose? You're a lot of times going to see them go away then to make the play go away from that hash. But they're going to go right down the middle here. Marietta has some confusion on defense. If Credit can get going here, they are going to have some business. Credit in the pistol. He's going up. He's going to talk to his offensive line. Now it's a straight run to Hinton. Oh, toss to Maddox. They got to cover this. This could be 2 points the other way. And he's got the ball at the 40, at the 50. There's going to be a block in the back, but it's not called. He's going to go all the way for a touchdown. It's actually not a touchdown, but it is a 2-point conversion for the Pioneers. So
if you're Wilmington, you know, that was a great...
We do have a flag. It just was thrown out of bounds. It's absolutely a block in the back. I will be absolutely shocked if they don't get this one. Terrible call, terrible block. He had no reason to block him. Who was the young man that scooped that up?
The play is 2 points for the defensive team. During the play, there's sideline warning on both teams.
On both teams, they got sideline warning. So they're going to give them...
Which means that you got to do it again.
So they have sideline warnings. Those sideline warnings, I guess, the way that they're calling this, that they are offsetting. Offsetting, you would think normally would then clear out the play, we would go again. However, in this situation, it sounds like they're calling it post-play. How you have sideline warnings post-play, I have no idea. But that is their call. So I think these young men that are down there wearing the black and white stripes are probably going to get a game film from both Marietta's coaching staff and also from Wilmington's coaching staff.
And, you know, with third quarter here, it's 6:08 here. It's 26-30. Marietta's winning. If you're Wilmington, you know, you got to keep grinding. It wouldn't have been no different right there. And they got to think about it. It's no different if you miss that 2-point conversion.
Yep.
I mean, I know you get 2 points, but still you need to score and you need to stop.
Yep.
So we're just going to keep going. And, you know, the Quakers are fighting. That was a great call.
That was.
That was a great call.
That was. And it was open. If he handles that pitch, we've got 2 points there for the Quakers. Just was unable to handle the pitch. So.
And what a great, that was like you said, that was just a wonderful call, but it just didn't work out the way it should.
Josh Schwab back to kick again for the Quakers. Again, they have Van Meter and also Kobe Hewlett back deep, and it looks like they're going to Hewlett. Hewlett catches this one. This time he's up over the 20, over the 25 to the 30, and he is going to be hit by a host of Quakers, led by number 7, Deshaun Maddox, there at the 31, call it the 32-yard line. So it'll be Marietta's ball at the 32-yard line. Chris, how important is it to keep the Pioneers behind the down and distance in this possession? We've seen that because the quarterback's better throwing when it's unexpected than when he needs to.
Well, you got to think Wilmington's got to, you know, force turnovers here. We need a big turnover. We haven't forced many turnovers today. We just one turnover. I think they punted once or twice. How many times do you think?
Yeah, I think just the once when Fields dropped back for us. So we're going to have trips to the top, and we're going to have them in a pistol. They're motioning that tight end now over to the right side. Again, we have number 9 back in the backfield. He's going to get the handoff. It's going to be on a first down run for about 5 yards. Again, there's that young man, Tanner Clark.
Yeah, C.J. Thompson looks like was in on that play, too.
So it'll be
number 6, too.
It'll be 2nd and 5 here for the Pioneers.
I tell you, we need
so this is a big
for them big guys, them big running backs right here.
Big negative play type down or a stop here. So looks like the Quakers are in man-to-man. They're in that offset pistol here for the Pioneers, and now he's going to bring that tight end up off to the right. So to the right, to the left, and in the pistol. Fields taking the snap. He's going to throw that quick little bubble. No, it's the slant, and he has number 8, Alex Smith, on the catch, and he is a big, strong guy as well. He is 6'1", 215 as well, so big guy.
We're going to move the chains here, be 1st and 10. Marietta's going to have the ball on their own 49-yard line. Wilmington's got to stop this offense.
So they found a little something with running that little quick hitch with a slant in there on top of it. So here we go with Marietta, 2 to the bottom, 2 to the top in the pistol set here. He's going to fake the handoff, and then he's going to hit a little quick out. He's got Gonzalez out there. We have a flag.
Flag comes in. Looks like it pass interference, maybe a push off on the offense, maybe.
And there was a receiver, it looked like blocking downfield before things ever happened. So I think you're right there, Chris.
Looks like we got a Quaker down over here. He's out. A little shaken out there, 56 there. I keep wanting to say Hurricanes.
And they are saying that that ball was caught behind the line of scrimmage, which is absolutely not true. So once again,
how would it be caught?
Yeah, it caught 3 yards down the field. But here we go again, and I tell you what, whoever wins this football game is going to have to overcome this officiating crew. I hate to talk about officials, but that's just the bottom line of this football game.
And the Hurricanes just hasn't had calls go their way.
The Quakers. You're all right.
I'm not Hurricane no more.
Here we go. We got 2 to the bottom, 2 to the top. They have a tight end. Every time he has been in this tight formation, they have thrown the ball to the tight end. So let's see if it isn't looking for him straight up the field again. There he is out in the pass, but it's Alex Smith here down on the bottom again. They ran that little slant out pattern. The Quakers haven't been able to figure that out.
And they got a lot of young kids in the secondary, a lot of young freshmen in the secondary getting beat up on. Looks like they're putting they got some big wide receivers out here from Marietta.
Those are big body guys for sure. So here are the Pioneers, 2 to the right, 2 to the left, offset to the right. And the snap. Fields going to drop back to throw. He's got a man, and he has a touchdown there. Working against the Quakers defensive back, who was actually bumped off of the route right there and just stumbled a little bit, threw the ball right over the top. Nice pass by Fields.
So with 4:07 in the third quarter, Marietta just scored. Make it 36-26. They're getting ready to attempt an extra point. Do you think that 2 points is going to come in a big hand here?
Well, with 4:07, I think really it depends on how quickly the Quakers keep scoring. But I think that will be the way the Quakers defense hasn't been able to stop. So here's the snap for the hold, and it's down. It's a little late. It's going to be blocked, and now how big does that 2-point come? Because again, I talked about chasing points.
Yes. Just like when down here at the bottom, if they would have just kicked the extra point and they blocked that one there, now they're down 7 points instead of 3 points.
Now it's a touchdown and a field goal.
But that also brings it to a field goal too.
So and now you don't have to worry about going for 2 anytime later. You can play the other side of it, but you never know what's going to happen. You can play the other side of it that, hey, if you go for the 1, you make your 1, and now it's a tie ball game. But again, you can't play that game, you're just down 7, but you can't play that game. What you really need to do is get a defensive stop again. They got to get a score here, and then a defensive stop. And this Quaker defense has just been kind of getting worn out. I think the faster Marietta goes, the harder it has become for the Quakers to get a stop. That's why those first 3 downs of a possession are so important. Same way with Wilmington. They get an initial first down, they've moved the field, right, Chris?
Oh, yeah. Back to receive the kick here. You got Eric Flynn there, and who's the other cat here?
I believe it's Baker, the freshman wide receiver. Kenny
Jones.
Kenny Jones, Kenny
freshman.
Jones.
Another freshman there. They get a lot of freshmen on the field, aren't they?
Absolutely. That's only going to bode well for them here in the future. So again, number 52 here for Marietta, ready to kick the football off. He's going to kick it short, and it's Matt Credit who is going to call for the fair catch and get it at the 30-yard line.
That was a great play there by Matt. You catch that fair catch there. Go ahead and chalk it up. We get the ball on the 30. We're going to drive down the field. We're down 10. It's homecoming here. Let's play some football.
So it'll be Quakers ball, 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. The good news is for the Quakers, I see P.J. Meyer back out on the football field. Amir Jackson on the inside here. Pettiford inside of him in the middle of that trio of receivers at the top. Look for a little bubble screen possibility here. We have Flynn now to the right. Credit down here at the bottom of the screen. Matt, that is. Going to hand off to Flynn. Flynn is going to get about a yard. He got gobbled up in the backfield, but he was able to churn those feet and get about a yard out to the 31-yard line.
Lane Hacker there, senior offensive lineman, was battling there. He's put him and the other defensive tackle was there. They was battling, pushing back and forth. It's nice to see a little fight out of your offensive line coming out there. It means something a lot, especially to a senior.
Absolutely. So here we go. 2nd down and 9 for the Quakers. Credit has twins to the bottom, twins to the top. He's going to drop back to throw. He's got a man. He's got his brother, Matt Credit, and he just overshoots him. And the defensive back there, maybe more importantly for Marietta, was able to pull off. Number 20, the safety, he was able to pull off and keep from getting the Klopfenstein. He was able to stop from getting a big targeting call there.
3:36 here. Wilmington Quakers homecoming. 26-36.
So a huge 3rd down and 9 here for the Quakers. What are you looking for right here?
I'd be looking for probably maybe a quick pass here to Jackson, or looking for Matt Credit here.
And now we have Maddox in motion. He's going to be deep. They're looking for that double screen again. They got Amir Jackson. He's got the ball. He's going up the field. He's got a blocker. He's got a man to miss. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. He's got one man to beat. He chases him down inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. What a play call. And I tell you what.
Just say a quick.
You called it. You called it. And how big, though, we give the credit to the offensive line. They were fantastic. How big is it for Credit to hold on to the ball long enough, take that hit, to let that play develop?
Yes, and of course, Matt Credit was down here. Did you see the block that he has on the backside? That's important for a kid to be blocking as a receiver.
So trips down to the bottom of the screen. Credit looking, he's got a quarterback draw. He's following Hacker, who you just mentioned a minute ago.
He's the bulldozer.
And I tell you what, he puts it in 4-wheel drive and he goes, doesn't he?
He is. He's a bulldozer.
He even high-stepped in the middle. How do you high-step with a guy hanging on you like he did there? But he took that. That looked like about a 7-yard gain for Luke Credit. The Credit boys, I tell you what, Mom and Dad have to be proud. You got to give them credit. Absolutely. Playing their hearts out here today. 2:33 left in this 3rd quarter. Credit. 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. He's taking the snap. He's going to hand off. No, he's got the ball. He's going to pull it. And he's going to gain maybe 2 yards, it looks like.
That's what's good about having Luke Credit, someone like a Tim Tebow type of quarterback that can run, because now instead of getting sacked, throwing it away, you're getting 2 yards.
Yep.
I mean, you're getting at your 3rd and 1. What do? You take a shot here, or you going to go ahead and just run it?
I'm going to run it if I'm the Quakers, but we'll see. We have trips down to the bottom. Credit, he's going to get a little fling out to Flynn, and Flynn going to get up over to about the 6-yard line and out of bounds. That's as good as a run right there, Chris.
Coach Brian Moore and his offensive coordinator, they have things together. What great play calling that they've made this whole day.
First time you've seen that play all day, and we're late in the 3rd quarter. What a good time for it on an important down. 1st down and goal from about the 6-yard line for the Quakers.
1:41 in the 3rd quarter.
Pettiford in tight, just a little bit offset. We have 2 to the bottom, 1 to the top. Flynn again in the backfield. They're going to hand the ball out to Flynn. Flynn up the middle. He's going to get stuffed right there at the line, and the Pioneers, they are ripping at that football. They know this would be a big time for a turnover.
So if you're tuning in here on CampusNation.com, we are at Townsend Field here at Wilmington College Quakers. It's 26-36 with 1:12.
So it will be 2nd down and goal. They actually are going to say that they lost about a yard, it looks like. Again, Pettiford, same formation, just flip it to the other side. They're going to drop back. Credit, we have false start. Matt was wide open, but it was because we had a false start there.
Man, that's
But again, we go back to something you and I said earlier, is that 5-yard penalty, they're going for it on 4 downs here. No one, they haven't stopped anybody.
So you might as well call it 3 down. They're marking it back pretty far, but like you said, I do believe it's 4 down, so you got 3 downs to get in.
Absolutely. So here we go with the Quakers. And sometimes down in that end zone, Chris, isn't it a little easier to have a little more space, just everything gets so tight?
Yeah, it's not all bunched up. I agree.
So here we go with the Quakers. 40 seconds left in the quarter. Trips to the bottom of the screen. Flynn to the left of Credit. Matt up at the top. And we have a hold in the backfield, but Credit's going to get away. He's going to dance away. He's going to do a lot of work. throw the ball. It's going to be, knocked away. Good job by P.J. Meyer because that should have been intercepted. That's one you don't want to take a chance on if you're Luke because we have an hold in the backfield on the offensive lineman on our.
Offense, number 57, 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Okay, so if you're Wilmington College here, you're down 10 points. You could even do this. You got a couple downs, try to get it in field goal range, kick a field goal. You got your extra point or your field goal kicker. He's missed one extra point all year. You get it inside the 10. It's right around about an extra point. You go down 7. Now you come back and play football, stop them.
Absolutely, and you're not looking to get all of it back right here.
No.
What has been big on these plays is screen passes. Let's look and see if we got another one of those.
Yes.
Flynn off to Credit's right. He's going to drop back. We have Amir Jackson underneath, but he's not able to get rid of it, and he's going to go down at the 30. Good job by Luke holding on to that one. He thought about throwing it away, nowhere to go with it.
So it looks like 13 seconds ago. It's going to lead us into the fourth quarter here with Wilmington College here. 26, Marietta Pioneers 36.
When they come back in the fourth quarter, they will have a big third down and 30. Third and goal from the 30. We'll see what the coaches can cook up during this timeout.
So we are going to our sponsors.
The final resting place, Haunted Junkyard, is located at 988 Polk Road in Sabina, Ohio. Their hours of operation are 8 p.m. till midnight every Friday and Saturday from now until October 28th. Prepare for torment from freaks of nature like Pig Boy, Patient 5150, Dr. Nightmare, and Buffalo. New in 2017 is a second attraction, Lights Out. For more information, you can contact the final resting place at 937-728-6190, thefinalrestingplace.com, or their Facebook page.
So we're back here at Wilmington College to start the fourth quarter. It's going to be Wilmington's ball, third down and goal at the 30-yard line. Yes, you heard that right if you're just joining us, third and goal at the 30. Chris, I think they're going to be looking to split this in half. We got some stats here from through three quarters. Flynn with 62 yards rushing on 15 carries, 4-yard average, hitting 43 yards with a 10-yard average. Luke Credit, 21 of 28, 275 yards and 4 touchdowns to give him 16 touchdowns on the year. So they have that screen formation at the top, and I think one thing that's worked for them here is a little screen action, get those guys to jump, and then
maybe run Jackson across the middle, just like you said.
So here we go. Looks like a very similar play to the one that ended the half, and Credit's going to go down for a sack again. No, he's going to throw it away, and we're going to have a penalty pushing him back even further because he crossed the line of scrimmage there.
Okay, I got you here. That's what I was looking
through that.
It's good awareness, though.
Here's the thing, and I believe college is the same as NFL. Your whole body, the whole ball, everything, all 3 points have to be across. I'm not sure all of them were across. His feet were back behind the 30-yard line. But again, they're going to make that call. Now they throw the flag a little farther so that'll make sure that looks like that's the call.
Yeah,
that is the call. That's a loss of down, so it's going to be a 5-yard penalty. And if you're Wilmington, do you punt this ball? I think one way or the other, they're coming out with an offensive formation. Even if they punt it, it's going to be Luke being the one to punt it. He also has the ability to punt. I see him being out there.
Right now, if you're going to do anything, you can throw a Hail Mary here up in the end zone. If it gets picked or batted down, oh well, you're taking a shot at the end zone. Throw one deep, throw it up. They take a chance on picking it off. It's not going to hurt no worse,
Yep. So here we go with Credit. In the gun with 3 to the top. He's now moving Flynn over to the right. Marietta then adjusts as well. He's going to drop back and pass the ball. He's got a man. He's going deep. And it's just out of the outstretched arms of Matt Credit.
He had him beat too there. He had him beat, didn't he?
Tried to drop that one in the bucket again and just wasn't able to do it. So it will be Marietta's ball. First down and 10 at the 33-yard line.
I figured they'd go deep there because what else? You might as well take a shot at it. It gets picked off. You could throw it in double coverage there.
Absolutely. At this stage of the game, 14:46 left in the fourth quarter. It is 26-36 Marietta. Now more than ever, the Quakers need a defensive stand. And it's going to come right here on first down. Last possession, Chris, they really went, instead of going with the run, they went with the pass all last possession. Do you see them doing that again here? Or do they hand it to their big, strong back up 10?
I'm giving it to my big back.
So here they are.
In a about a 6-man front there, it looks like. 6-2. They're in a 6-2.
Fields going to drop back, and he's going to throw the football. And he throws it to a guy outside, and he's going to get up the field, leap a defender, and going to be at about the 46-yard line. Out of bounds at the 46-yard line. That looked like 15 Van Meter.
That looks like, a kid like had to play in your freshman cornerback. He's got to be ready. You can't always take them out by their feet. You got to put your face in their sternum every now and then.
So now you give him that fake going low and you're going up.
Yeah.
So it'll be Fields taking the snap, 1st and 10 at the 45. He's going to hand it off to that big strong back, and he's got a man rolling. We had a tackle there by, looked like number 55.
33 there.
And 33 as well.
Drake Parks, freshman DB there.
So they're picking up yards in chunks. This is 12. You talked about guys having to start fighting, and this is a place where they got to fight a little bit harder here. If you're Wilmington, they need a big stop. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
6-2. Looks like Wilmington in a 6-2 defense. They're putting the package on them. They're doing what they have to do. They're loading the box up. Just see if we can stop them.
Dropping back to pass. Fields has a man underneath. There's going to be a tackle and a sack. Nice job. I believe that was Ryan Prince. No, number 98 there for Wilmington on the tackle. So that's a big sack there. Big down for the Quakers. So they got them off schedule. It'll be 2nd and 11 for Marietta.
2nd and 11. Fields and a pistol here.
Nolan Keller on that last sack. Fields going to drop and throw the ball. Just a little quick out, and he's going to step out of bounds after about a 3-yard gain. Marietta, Chris, is taking advantage of the Quakers being off in coverage there.
Yes, and it's 3rd and about 6 now. Now, if you're Marietta, is this 4-down territory, or are you going to try to pin Wilmington back on the goal line?
I think it depends on how far you have to go. But, here the Quakers need a big stop on this down. I think if it's 4th and short, definitely going to be. And you may call the play thinking that. So here we go. Fields has 2 at the bottom, 2 at the top. He has his stud, Roger Walker, behind him in the pistol. And he's going to hand that ball right up the middle. They're going to trust Parker. He's going to make a bounce. And the Quakers, can they get to him? C.J. Thompson wouldn't give up on the play. Makes the stop at the 45-yard line. So now it's decision time for Marietta. 4th down and about 4.
I like C.J. Thompson. He's a leader. And you know what? He keeps grinding each and every week. His 4th and 4 looks like they're going to keep their team out, but they can also do a little pooch pop like he did that one.
And they did that before. Make the Quakers go the length of the field. If you're a Quakers fan, you're kind of hoping that. Here we go. They're in the pistol. In the pistol, 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. They're going to run a man in motion. They have no one going with him there, and he's going to be going on a quick out. They get Quakers tip the ball. Even better for the Quakers. Great job by number 90, Ryan Prince. C.J. Thompson in there as well. I'm not sure who got their hands on it, but I know Prince made him hesitate. He jumped immediately, got the hands up, took away that quick slant, which was wide open, by the way. Quakers don't tip that ball. They have a 1st down. Now it's Quakers ball, 1st and 10 at the 35.
David Henry is going crazy. Him and C.J. Thompson. Hey, they're excited. These seniors right here, they want it.
So it'll be Quakers ball, 1st and 10. 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom, and we're going to see, looks like Gino Hinton in the backfield off to the left. He had the big run earlier in the half. Here he goes. He's got the ball again. He's going to get up inside for about a 3-yard gain.
Coach, we sitting here talking about it. You watch David Henry and C.J. Thompson, how much it means to them to get a big stop like that, and they're sitting there and they're so excited. This is a very important drive here for Luke Credit. He's a senior too. You have him, big senior, and he's doing a great job. Like 16 touchdowns this year. He's got 4 this game. Going into the week, he's 4th in the OAC in touchdowns. I mean, how important it is for these seniors here.
It is very important, and you can tell by how hard they're playing how much it means to them. So to the top, to the bottom. Credit takes the snap. He's looking for P.J. Meyer. P.J. Meyer got a one-on-one coverage, and P.J. goes up for the ball, does a great job. He played defender there.
But that was a great job, and that's an unselfish play by P.J. Meyer. You know, he turned to a defender, like you said.
And Luke Credit showing some trust there, too, in P.J. Meyer. He has him one-on-one. That's exactly where he wants to go if he's got him one-on-one. And he goes up top looking for P.J. P.J. unable to get there, but it's now going to be 3rd and 7 for the Quakers, and there's zero doubt that this is 4-down territory the rest of the football game. Quakers struggling a little bit to get a line here again. Again, Luke being a senior, good thing he knows this offense well. He's moving guys all over the place. 2 backs, 1 on each side of Credit. 2 to the top. Now they send Hinton out in the flats. They got a blitz. And they have a screen.
Oh,
Credit gets rid of the football, and it is picked off.
See, that's sometimes you make a play like that. Luke just trying to get rid of the ball and throws a big pick. Wilmington's got him A. We've got 10 minutes and 39 seconds in the 4th quarter. Wilmington College, you can't count them out now. We just got to come back, make a big play.
Now, we mentioned this at halftime. Sometimes you get lucky. Marietta right there called the blitz right into the screen pass. It was blind luck, but, you know, it worked out for them. Wilmington's defense, as you just said, they've got to step up right now. 1st down and 10 at the 20-yard line for the Pioneers.
Turnover would be good right here.
Fields has trips to the top. He's in the pistol. He's going to hand the ball off up the middle, and Walker's going to go past everybody for a touchdown, deliver a blow, and that was just too easy again.
Man, Walker's been a tough running back all night, but here's the thing. If you're Wilmington College, you got to keep fighting here.
And I tell you what, that play, he was going up the middle. Nice little cut, and the next thing you know, he was gone. Designed to go, I think, a little bit more up the middle. He cut it to the outside, did a nice job, got it right up the field, and he wasn't afraid to deliver a blow there at the goal line at the end. So it's going to be the Pioneers kicking the extra point. And that is good.
And just like that, Coach, we were sitting here talking how fast they could turn from a 10-point ball game to a 17-point ball game. You know, in 2 plays, you know.
And really the turning point in this football game was the not only botched 2-point conversion, but then they scored the 2 points, and really they've kind of just been chasing that score ever since, and it's been very difficult for the Quakers. You see a lot of dejected guys coming off the football field. I know this, you've mentioned this just this last possession. You're not going to see any quit out of Luke Credit. Might have got him in trouble that last possession. He tried to do a little too much. You know what? You can handle a mistake like that every once in a while with a kid that just wants it so bad. He's doing everything in his power to try to make a play. As a coach, you say, yeah, you'd like him to just hold on to that and take the sack, but at the same time...
if he makes a play with that, everybody's like, man, you're incredible. Yeah. If he don't, it gets picked off. They go for 6. It is what it is.
Yep, but he was fighting, and that's the bottom line. He was trying to give you everything he had. So here we go with the Pioneers, going to be kicking the ball off from the 35. We have Flynn and Jones back deep to receive the kick. And it looks like it's going to be Jones taking the ball at the 10. He's up over the 20. He's got a little bit of a crease. He's out over the 30. He's breaking tackles, and he's going to be down at the 30 with a host of Pioneers.
And he's a freshman, I believe, isn't he?
He is a freshman.
And, you know, that was a great play by him.
So it'll be Quakers ball, 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Now, you've got to go into, you already have the ability to do this, but you got to go into super hurry up if you're Wilmington. 10:22 left on the clock. You know, you go get a score, you get an onside kick. This game isn't over with, but you got to have the guys that are believing that. And we'll see right here. Marietta, maybe a little letdown right here. Here's a good time for a shot play right out of that. So Marietta with the 2 high safeties. Wilmington with trips to the top. They got Flynn to the right of Credit. Credit taking the snap. He's going to hand the ball off to Flynn. Flynn up the middle. Credit looking for a block. There's Flynn out over the 50-yard line.
And you know one thing about Matt Credit. Matt Credit is a receiver that'll go out and block. And How important is that as a running back to cut outside and you see a cornerback and Matt Credit's there blocking it?
And that's how you get those big runs, just like you talked about. So again, trips to the top, Flynn to the right of Credit. They're going to swing the ball out. Now Credit, he has a run-pass option, so he's got Amir Jackson down the field. Amir's going to make a man miss. Makes another guy miss and runs through a tackle. He has the ball down for the Quakers at the 33, so now a little life in that sidelines.
You know, Luke Credit goes there and he rolls to the right. He slips, and you know what? Just like he didn't rely on when he threw a turnover last time. He comes back, makes a big play, coming across there.
Yep, and does it with his feet. Unfortunately, we have an injured Quaker down on the football field.
We're going to go to our sponsors here. Why are they injured?
The Wilmington Hollow Ride brings the Clinton County Fields every Friday and Saturday night now through October 28th. Experience the fire-breathing ceremonies. On the glorious Sawdust school buses for a haunted ride you'll never forget. Terror in the Court, Slaughter Hotel, and the all-new Evil Asylum will chill you to the bone. Wilmington Hollow Ride, 1261 West Dalton. For more information and directions, go WilmingtonHauntedHollowRide.com.
Welcome back here to Campus Nation here at Wilmington College Stadium. Coach Moore said there were 65 scheduled recruits for the day. We got a lot of kids standing around watching a little football. We got some on the left and right side here.
Quakers ball. Two to the top, two to the bottom, and Credit is in the pistol now. Hinton sliding up to his right. Amir Jackson was the injured guy on the play. Looked like he had a cramp. He was kind of cramping up coming off the play. Taking the snap, handing off to Hinton. Hinton up the middle, and Hinton just able to be tackled there by, I believe it was number 2, Tyler Rule for Marietta.
Looked like they're one of the offensive linemen, 57, Saul Boisel, junior offensive lineman. Got in the way a little bit, and he just nicked him. Caught him off guard.
Here we go, trips again down at the bottom. Offset to the left. Credit going to drop back, he's going to run, and he's going to take a big shot as he goes up the football field, and it's going to be about a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. He pops right back up, though. He's limping a little bit, but that's not going to stop Luke Credit. Trips down here to the bottom.
Look at him. He's a tough kid, Lord. You can tell he probably took a shot to his thigh, and he's like, oh, bruised up thigh, but you know what? He don't come out.
He was one of those kids that would like to be playing on a dirt field so he could just rub a little dirt on it and get moving. Here he goes. He's got twins to the top, twins to the bottom. He's got an offset to the right. Credit taking the snap. He's dropping back. He's got Maddox one-on-one. He's going to have to roll. He's going to have to get rid of the football, and he just wisely throws it away to live another down. It's going to be 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. Or excuse me, 4th down and 4 or 5 here for the Quakers. So they had a lot of success with some of those little underneath screens action. They're not able to get that now. Marietta's done a good job of shoring that up in these last couple drives. I don't see them getting a lot of one-on-one. This is going to be a zone coverage, but Marietta has dialed up the blitz the last few times. Chris, do you see him coming with that again?
Yes, I think right here you're probably going to hit a little out route or something. What do you think? Yeah, I'd say Marietta's going to come with.
Well, they have Matt Credit one-on-one to the top of the screen, and if I would be a betting man, I'd say they'd be going to him.
Yes. No, and the receiver's leaking to the left, so not real to his way.
So there he goes, up to Credit. He's got the ball inside. Oh, the ball comes out at the last second. Oh, I thought he had him in the corner of the end zone.
Great pass, though. He's just got to hold on to that football. That was a great pass there by Luke to Matt Credit, but Matt Credit couldn't hold on to it.
So Matt slow to come off, and I've played that receiver position. You go up for a catch, and you come down, and your whole ribs, etc., shoulders are exposed. Looks like that's maybe what happened to Matt. They're coming down as he...
And I'd say he's had a great game tonight.
Fantastic football game. 8:17 left in this game. The Quakers going to need a stop, and they have 2 backs. Marietta does in the backfield, offset of Fields. I see heavy run coming at the Quakers in here. Fields going to roll out and throw. Brian Prince after Fields. Fields able to make a miss, and then going to get to the outside and tries to stay in bounds, but he does go out of bounds.
I like Prince, though. He came up, contains him back inside, but he still fought. he got back in his pursuit angle, and instead of chasing him from behind, he gets in his pursuit angle and still helps run him out of bounds over there.
So they're going to wind that clock. 8:03 left in the ball game. 2nd down and 2. So again, there's where Marietta, you think they're running, bring 2 backs in, and they don't. So let's see what they do here on 2nd and 1, a big running down. They're going to bring a man in motion. Not sure that he knows what he's doing there, but they have a handoff. Oh, and a great job by, again, Ryan Prince getting up the football field right away. Not able to make the tackle, but a host of Quakers, including your guy, C.J. Thompson, making it 3rd and 1.
Man, they really fired off the ball there. And, you know, the defenses, they've won some nice battles tonight. You have these senior leaders here, David Henry and C.J. Thompson. This means a lot to them.
So here comes that heavy package. They have 3 tight ends in the game. 2 tight ends in the game. And it looks like they are going to try to hammer at the middle of that Quakers defense, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to hand it off to Roger Walker, and he is going to gain about 6 on 3rd and 1. So it'll be a 1st down for the Pioneers. You could kind of see that coming. They bring in the 2 extra tight ends, haven't had those guys in there together all day long, and bring those guys in and come right at the Quakers. My guess is, especially you got that second back, you know, we've really been impressed with Tanner Clark. My guess is they're going to, and here he comes onto the field right now, you got to come right at the Quakers. Fields can run it. You really have 3 running backs. And here he goes, fake handoff. Fields going to throw the ball to the quick out. Receiver turning back to the middle to stay in bounds. They are a well-coached football team. They understand do not go out of bounds there, even though that pass took him that way.
Yeah, good play there by Jay Higgins there. He kind of jumped on it a little too much, but it's a nice play. Bring him down. Of course, the game is 6 there.
And if you're the Quakers, you're going to have to get aggressive here. Again, a handoff. No fake handoff. He's running. He's got run-pass option, and he's got a man. He's got number 10.
You got a flag.
We have a hold, though. Going to come back. Number 8, Alex Smith, is going to be the guy on the hold. Billy Franz was the one with the catch and made a couple nice moves.
Alex Smith, he's 6'1", 205 pounds. That's a big receiver. I'm surprised they haven't went to him a lot of the time. They haven't really threw a lot, really, in the second half here.
So he has, we have a hold here. So it looks like
ineligible receiver downfield.
Ineligible man downfield.
Number 67.
Okay.
5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
So I guess on that action, the offensive line just got downfield before they were able to get that pass off. So even though you and I both thought we had Alex Smith on a hold, it was a pretty good hold down there, but he got away with that, but they're going to bring it back. It'll be 2nd down and about 10, just short of 10, 9.5 here for the Pioneers, and they're going to wind that clock, 6:20 and counting here in the 4th quarter. So he's got 2 to the top and 2 to the bottom. He's in the pistol set again with Clark behind him. He's going to hand that ball off to Clark and run right off that left side. Some big, strong offensive linemen doing work there.
Brought down there by number 45, Dave Henry, senior again.
Anthony Jolowick, the big left tackle there for Marietta, did a good job. Left guard, and then Riggleman, the left tackle, doing a good job of creating some space.
Yeah, David, big David, man. This is, of course, he's a local boy here at Wilmington. He went to Wilmington High School, and now he's at college. Like you said, I can't believe he's a 4.9, 3.9 grade point average.
Very smart young man, very nice young man. It'll be 3rd and 5 here for the Pioneers. Going to fake the handoff. They're going to drop back and throw. He's going deep, and actually looks like the Quakers have an interception.
Picked off. Over the 30.
And we have
a 40. Over the 50. We got a flag back here.
Treyquest Parks. It's going to be a block in the back by one of the Quakers, but Treyquest Parks did a great job of going up, meeting that ball at the highest point, and then getting his balance and making a nice return. It will be spoiled, unfortunately, with that block in the back.
Looked like C.J. Thompson's a little mad there. Maybe he thought he hit him straight up. So what's the call here? Looked like old C.J. was mad. He's up there spitting some words.
During the return, Intercepting team number 2, blocking the back.
And it was going to be on C.J. Thompson, a block in the back. Happened right after that play.
Well, I think he thought he had him, he could get his helmet across, and it looked like he did, but nowadays, with the calls today, with crackbacks and things the way they are, they're not putting up with it, so they're calling anything remotely close to a block in the back.
Absolutely, and that is a tough break for the Quakers. Instead of having the ball over the 50-yard line, they're going to get it at the 25, but they do have it. And they have a 5 minutes and 14 seconds here. 17-point lead for the Pioneers. Credit has 2 backs, 1 split off each side, 2 receivers to the bottom. Going to give a handoff up the middle. And that is going to be Hinton, I believe, with the carry. And he's going to get about 8 yards. Again, the Quakers just trying to maybe do a little something different. You ask, why do they run at that time? Why not?
Why not? Keep it going.
Marietta is immediately dropping into a shell defense, and so as soon as you're getting that, you absolutely want to hit the middle of that defense. So here we go again, twins to the bottom, offset on each side. They're going to give it up the middle again, trying to get that same thing, but Marietta has too much penetration. Number 2 and also number 96 there, so Tyler Rule and also Chris Otto on the tackle. So
3rd and about 3 here.
I tell you what, Marietta has made it tough on the Quakers all day. Marietta's made it tough on you and I. These white jerseys with light gray lettering, really hard to see.
How hard is it? Like you
as a coach, you like that on the film because it's hard to see. The NCAA has actually outlawed that in basketball, I know. Here we go. We have Maddox in motion. Going to be a fake handoff there. Credit. Going to make a man miss. He's still working hard. He's up and over the 41-yard line. And just like you said before, there's no quitting that young man, is there?
No. You know, he's made a mistake earlier. He shakes it off. He keeps going and moves forward. He done that at Waynesville. I watched him playing high school football at Waynesville. And they beat Clinton Massey when Clinton Massey was at his best. And he did it single-handedly by himself. Animal.
Credit here with twins on both sides, and he has a running back off to his right. Going to fake the handoff. He's got a little out to Deshaun Maddox. Unfortunately, Maddox can't do anything with it after the catch.
Pick up about 4, though.
Right there is number 20, the safety, Eric Kopfenstein, and he is their 2nd leading tackler on the season, and you see why. That was a sure tackle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So again, they wind the clock. Credit with trips now to the top. Still in the gun. He's going to run a little quarterback power.
You know, just like that. You're sacked. You're Luke Credit. You're almost sacked there. And he makes something happen, so at least they stay at the line of scrimmage, maybe gain a half inch.
Yeah, he's just not a guy that's going to go down with the first hit. You're not going to arm tackle him, and you're not going to outplay his effort, that's for sure. You might make him do a few other things, but you're not going to outplay his effort. Now 3rd down and about 6, trips to the top of the key. He's going to throw the ball. He's got a man, and Amir Jackson just overthrows him a little bit. It'll be 4th down and 6. Now, going back about 10 minutes ago, we saw Credit take a huge shot, come out of a pile, and he has just been kind of gimping around ever since then. As soon as the play starts, though, he takes off, but some of these things, like right there, just couldn't get his feet set. You know he's got to be hurting from all the shots he's taken.
So 2:42 in the 4th quarter here. It's 26-43. Marietta Pioneers lead the Quakers. 4th and 6 here for Luke.
And he has Matt down here to the bottom, trips to the top.
Looks like they're leaking a safety over here.
Matt on a quick out, doesn't have Matt. Now he has Amir Jackson. Now he has a man over the middle, and that would be P.J. Myers.
You know, Luke Credit sets back. He don't get flustered. That's a kid that shows great poise, man.
And talk about another tough kid. P.J. Myers has been struggling with cramps all day long. He's sprinting across the football field right there, trying to stand up.
Out again.
He has to walk off. P.J., what a tough young man. 2 huge touchdown passes.
Awesome.
Wouldn't be denied, or catches, excuse me. Great young man, someone that you know, I know that we're proud to have as a Wilmington College student athlete. So here we go, trips to the top of the screen. We have Flynn offset to the left of Credit. Credit in the gun. calling the signals. He takes a low snap. He's got Matt, excuse me.
What a catch by Matt Credit there. He goes up and gets it, don't he?
Yes, he did, and he was able to catch it. He comes down, and again, there's one of those, you come down, land on the ball. That's kind of more of a wind taken out of you kind of thing. What a catch, though. You're right. Went up and made the play.
He looks like he's a little shooken up there. Maybe got the wind knocked. I think he got the wind knocked out of him. He wouldn't be laying there. They wouldn't have done that. You get the wind knocked out of you, that's just what happens. Landed down on the ball probably. And
absolutely. Gave up his body right there to go make that play. You got guys that have really bought into this football team. You can tell by how hard they're still playing in this situation. 1:48 left. Wilmington ball, 2nd and 1. At the 35. Here we go. Credit back to pass. He's got Amir Jackson one-on-one. Now he's looking over the middle, and it's just short to Deshaun Maddox. And again, now Credit has 3 guys out there that he hasn't had out there a lot. Deshaun Maddox, I guess, is one of those guys that's been out there a lot. But Keyshawn Yorker, the freshman, Dylan Volts, also out there. So a lot of new guys that he's working with, and you can see there's just not a lot of timing there.
And I'll tell you, from last year to this year, Wilmington College Quakers has changed. The culture's changed so much. I mean, there's a lot of fight in these young men, just in the culture.
And Credit back in the pistol. He's going to drop back. He's still throwing the ball. He's got a man, and it is Matt Credit.
Matt Credit again.
As they say, off the carpet, right back into the play, and he ran a beautiful route there. I was watching him the whole time. Did a great job at the stem of the route, coming back to the football.
It's that backyard dog again, man.
So here we go, 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Wilmington going quick here. The 23-yard line for the Quakers. Credit going to fake the handoff, and he is going to be sacked and pile drove down on his right shoulder. Number 51 there with the sack for Marietta, and that would be Dalton Seacrest.
Time out for the Quakers.
Minute 14 left. You know, Chris, you talked about Luke. We talked about him a lot, but 16 touchdowns so far in the season. He had 5 all of last year passing. You talk a little bit about these guys. They've never given up, no matter what the situation. Talk a little bit about what kind of a young man you've seen him since high school that Luke Credit is.
You know, and watched him in high school, just showing his poise. At Waynesville, he turned Waynesville into a great program. They was down for a lot of years, right when Luke Credit. He was all over people's talking, man, Luke Credit's the bomb. I wouldn't watch him play Clinton Massey. They played Clinton Massey, and, he really showed Massey kind of disrespected him. They came out like all locked on, and you could tell Luke Credit was just like, all right, this is what's going on. I'm taking over, and he took over that whole game, and he's doing the same thing this year. I think that Coach Moore and them just let him do a little more. They trust him.
1:14 left, trips to the top, tight end down at the bottom. Little fake handoff to Flynn. Credit rolling out. He has a man across the middle, and that is Amir Jackson. A nice catch. That ball was a little bit behind him on the run. He was able to snag that ball.
They're getting right back on the line here. 1:03, fourth quarter. 43-26. Marietta's leading the Quakers by 26-13. 43.
So there he is, back to Matt, his brother, and there was some contact there. Matt unable to get back to that football, mainly because he was getting pushed down the football field.
Looked like number 6 there for Marietta. It looked like he got his hands on his inside of his jersey, like right in here.
And you know that, in college you do get away with a little bit more hand checking, but this has been quite a bit here we've seen today. So we have 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Credit in the gun with Flynn off to his left. 3rd down and 1, 48 seconds left in the ballgame. Credit back to pass. He's got a man across the way, and Keyshawn Yorker, that is his first touchdown as a Wilmington Quaker, I believe. The freshman, Keyshawn Yorker.
That's a good thing. Great pass. Luke Credit, he just keeps on fighting. You can tell. That's one thing about it. He keeps fighting. You see Matt Credit down here. Yorker catches a touchdown. Matt Credit's waiting right there to give him a little fist pound and a little back rub there.
So these guys, as you said, Coach Moore's changing this culture because these guys are still in it. No matter what's happening, they're still in it. 42 seconds left. Shemp for the extra point. And he is going to put that up and through. So it will be 33-43 with 42 seconds left.
And I can guarantee you right now, Wilmington College is coming out and they're onside kicking. I can guarantee you might as well expect it because, hey, they're not laying down. It don't matter with time on the board, they're coming at you. Let's go to a sponsor here.
The final resting place Haunted Junkyard is located at 988 Polk Road in Sabina, Ohio. Their hours of operation are 8 p.m. till midnight every Friday and Saturday from now until October 28th. Prepare for torment from freaks of nature like Big Boy, Patient 5150, Dr. Nightmare, and Buffalo. New in 2017 is the second attraction, Lights Out. For more information, you can contact the final resting place at 937-728-6190, thefinalrestingplace.com, or their Facebook page.
So with 42 seconds here left in the ball game, we are back. That drive set up by an interception by the freshman DB Treyquez Parks. First interception of the year for the Quakers defense. And now, as you mentioned, they're going to have the onside kick here for the Quakers.
Can't give up right now.
Freshman capping that drive, though.
That was great.
Interception, it in the touchdown. So a lot of bright future here for the Quakers. And here we go, Josh Chua teeing it up. And they actually have two kickers out here, Chua and Champ. Chua's coming first. He's going to fake kick. Champ's going to be the one to kick. And there is number one.
That was a great onside kick, though.
Roger Walker.
Hey,
great concept, right?
Great concept, and it just didn't work. I mean, he put it on Big Dog Scout out there and just couldn't get it to bounce off.
I tell you what, Roger Walker, deserving of Offensive Back of the Year last year. Just watching him here, he does everything. Catches the ball, he runs it. We talked about his feet, his eyes. Yeah, and there was no doubt when that ball hit him. You know, any other guy that looks like that with his size, his strength, you're thinking you got a chance. He just gobbled it up. So most likely we're going to see the Pioneers here in the victory formation. But if you're a Quakers fan, you've got to be happy that they have played their heart out today. Looks like we have a new quarterback for Marietta. Number 12, Kyle McSweeney, being the cornerback. He's going to take the snap and hand that ball off up the middle. And the Quakers fighting here till the end. Brian Gonzalez, one of many Quakers in on the tackle. And you know what, Coach Moore, he's saying we're not done here. We're going to keep battling. He's going to teach these guys a lesson. He's going to make sure that they are still playing, still fighting all the way to the end.
Baldwin Wallace over Muskegon, 43-20.
So Mount Union 72-14 over Capital. Some other scores. Ohio Northern 27-20 over John Carroll, also in OAC.
You know, think about it, Coach, we're talking about it. Coach Moore's not giving up. You know, he's going to keep fighting, doing what it takes. And you know what? You play all the way up to the end of a football game. Because you never know when a player can make something, change their life. Like he said, you got to win those small battles. Even if you don't win that large picture, you win those small battles and get better in every aspect because it's all about you. It's what you want to do on the field. You know what I mean? And he gets this precious time on the field that he don't want to take it away.
And he's teaching those life lessons to these young men. That's why these recruits that are here, this is the guy you want to play for. I can guarantee you that. Here the Pioneers again with the handoff up the middle. Number 24, their third running back of the day, does a nice job. He's out over the 31-yard line.
Looks like that's going to be first down.
Unfortunately, we have Brian Gonzalez down on the football field again, grabbing at that right leg. So this is the last thing you want to see if you're the Quakers. You're fighting to the end, but you don't want to see these guys hurt. You know, it's been an unseasonably hot day, especially we've had a cold week in cramps. You've seen cramps on both sides of the football field. You know, that's one of those things that happens this time of year when you have one of these unseasonably hot days. I believe it's 75, 77 out there, and we've had a week where we've been in the 50s and 60s most of the week. So 24 seconds left in this game. Hopefully it's nothing more than exactly that with a cramp with Brian Gonzalez. But, Chris, you know, looking back, there's been a lot of highlights for the offense, though. The defense, they've made a few plays, though, as well. And let's highlight a few of those young men that have been big-time players. Amir Jackson, we don't have the updated numbers, and I know he's had some catches since then, but he had 8 catches through 3 quarters for 133 yards. I know he's gotten more than that. He just had a big one on the last play. He's a guy that came out and they were really targeting him early on, and he's made a lot of plays for the Quakers, and Brian Gonzalez is getting helped off here.
Of course, Luke Credit, 5 touchdowns. That brings him 17 for the total this year.
Matt Credit at that time, again, had 6 for 84 yards and a touchdown, and he's had a couple since then as well. Don't have any updated stats for that, but a lot of guys that are making plays, and a lot of young guys that are making plays. So it's going to be an exciting future here for the Quakers. We're going to let these last 24 seconds wind, maybe, and they start the clock. So
looks like they're going to take that in.
Yep.
So with our final score here, we have Wilmington College, Quakers Stadium. We have Quakers 33, Marietta Pioneers 43. Coach Brian Moore will be up here after the game here. So we're going to keep everything rolling here.
We'll have a few stats here for us here in a few minutes where we'll be able to get all of those numbers, those updated numbers for all of these playmakers for the Quakers and also the Pioneers. Again, we've mentioned these guys fought to the end. You see a bunch of guys that they can have their head held high because they did battle for 4 quarters. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out the way that the Quakers wanted it to, but 43-33 is the final score. Marietta winning by 10. That would be the 5th consecutive win for the Pioneers in the series. They've won 5 out of the last 6. So, again, there's a lot going on here today. Homecoming for Wilmington College. There's also Herman Madness this evening. If you're interested in popping over to Herman Court, it is the Quakers version of Midnight Madness. It starts at 11. The teams will be coming out at midnight, and there's a lot of giveaways there after that game. So nice moment down there on the field. Brian Gonzalez is sitting over on the table, and those offensive players from Marietta that have been battling with him all day long are walking over and making sure that they're also shaking his hand. Good sportsmanship.
Yeah.
Roger Walker being the guy that kind of initiated that. Seems like a neat young man, plays very hard, and does a lot of things well there for the Pioneers as well.
Yeah, you can see Coach Philly down there. And see, that's the thing, Coach Philly, Coach Moore, they all have they got a lot of connections throughout this whole OAC. And it's nice to be able to sit there and see that out of them. They talk to each other. They're talking to the other players. They know Coach. And when you're involved in the OAC, they've been in it a while. They know a lot of coaches. And do you know that the Marietta's head coach here, actually, 3 years ago when the coach was last year's head coach from 2013 to 16. Stacey Harrison. The coach for Marietta right now, was a finalist with him for the Wilmington job back in 2013. Yep. That's why I was talking with Coach Moore about it.
Just 2 different paths these programs have taken, but I think Wilmington is on the right path here with Brian Moore. If you're a young man out there wanting to go play Division III football, I don't believe there is a better guy that you can be around. I was fortunate enough to play Division III football. I played under one of the great coaches, Carlin Carpenter.
Where'd you play
at Bluffton.
Bluffton, okay.
And Coach Carpenter, one of the great men, but also a great football coach. A lot of experience, and Brian's a lot like him. He keeps the game fun for these guys. These guys are battling and fighting hard. He keeps it fun, but at the same time, he's constantly teaching them life lessons. I can tell you, Coach Carpenter taught me a lot of life lessons, and I'm telling you right now, these young men that have been blessed to be around him, they're learning a lot of life lessons as well.
So college is down there on the field. Of course, Coach Brian Moore will be up here when they get down out of their little team. So we're going to have some updated stats coming here soon. A lot of the parents are down on the field waiting for the players to come through and talk with them. It was a great crowd today. I would like to get the total statistics for today's game. Of course, I thought there was more people here today than there was Earlham Quakers.
Absolutely.
So here's the stats we'll go through. Coach is going to talk
So we're going to go with the score first. Again, was 43-33 Marietta. First downs, Marietta had 24. Wilmington had 25. Rushing yards, 35 attempts for Marietta for 239 yards, whereas Wilmington had 39 attempts for 162, just a little above that average of 150 for the year that they've had. Passing yards, Marietta had 233 yards, a lot of those yards coming in the second half, in fact 133 of them. For Wilmington, they had 354 yards passing on 28 of 44. Both teams threw that one interception. Total offensive plays, Marietta had 57 offensive plays for 472 yards. Wilmington had 83 offensive plays for 516 yards. No fumbles for either team. The punt return yards, 2 returns for 12 yards for Marietta, 1 for Wilmington for 7. And then down on to the individuals. Marietta with rushing, Roger Walker, 18 carries, 173 yards gained, and a 9.6 average for 2 touchdowns. Darren Fields, the quarterback, 7 rushes, 26 yards gained, and 3.7 yards per carry. Tanner Clark, that backup that we were very impressed with, 26 yards on 8 carries, 3.2 average. Seemed like he had a lot more yards than that, but still good. And then Giovanni Love, he had those 2 carries at the end for 7 yards. For Wilmington, Eric Flynn Jr., 16 rushes for 79 yards, and he had a 4.9 average. Geno Hinton, 9 carries, 52 yards, 5.8 yards per carry. And Luke Credit, 14 rushes, 31 yards. Now he had 51 yards gained, but he had 20 yards lost, so 31 net for 2.2. Credit, again, was 28 of 44 with 1 interception and 5 touchdown passes, 354 yards. He did take the 3 sacks. Darian Fields is 18 of 22, again, efficient as he always is, 233 yards, 4 touchdowns. He was sacked 3 times. And then receiving, Bobby Cashoff, 5 catches, 61 yards, and a touchdown for the Pioneers. Andrew Baker, 4 receptions, 29 yards. Alex Smith, 3 catches, 37 yards. And Ryan Van Meter, 2 catches, 43 yards, and a touchdown. Amir Jackson for the Quakers, he had 10 catches, 162 yards, and a 52-yard long. My guess is that's got to be close to a career high, if not a career high. Matt Credit, 8 catches, 105 yards, and a touchdown. P.J. Meyer, 3 catches, 24 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And then Eric Flynn Jr., he had 2 receptions, 30 yards, and a touchdown. That big one to end the half. And then for tackles, Eric Kloffenstein, that safety that we were talking about, number 20 for Marietta, he had 9 unassisted, 2 assisted for 11 total tackles. And then Caleb Boy had a sack and 10 total tackles, 5 assisted, 5 unassisted. For the Quakers, Leroy Wilson, 5 unassisted, 7 assisted for 11 tackles. And then Traquez Parks, he had the 9 total, 4 unassisted, 5 assisted, and he also had a big interception, his first of his college career. So, real good game. Did a great job for Traquez Parks. You know, he's a kid that is a building block for the Quakers in that defensive secondary, Chris.
So we wait here. Of course, we see Coach Brian Moore down here. He's talking to some of the recruits. They got a lot of recruits here. They said they had 65 scheduled here. That's a lot of recruits. He says he plans to have 130 players he wants next year. Of course, they have 55 freshmen this year. Plans on he wants 75 to 80 kids to come out for football next year, just as freshmen.
And that's a little high for Division III, but still pretty par for the course overall. But it's not something Wilmington's been able to do. So with him being able to bring those guys in, you know, the last coaching staff hasn't been able to do that. That's why they've been a little bit smaller team. And so I believe Brian, he'll be able to do that again. He's one of those guys, when you talk to him, he's a magnetic guy, and he's going to be an exciting guy to play for. And again, I'm looking down there. There's a lot of dejected guys, but the Quakers, they should be able to hold their heads high because they did fight, they did battle. They came up short, but it wasn't for a lack of effort. that 10 points doesn't truly tell how close this football game was all along. Marietta just made a few plays there at the end of the game to kind of spread things out. And the Quakers, while they battled, they just weren't able to get it all the way back to be able to be in the game.
So, as I say, Coach, if he's not up here within 5 minutes, he said he gets caught up with a lot of recruits and people wanting to talk to him. You know, a lot of people, they're drawing the coach. You know, I mean, he's a great guy, and it's pretty cool how at Wilmington College you have all the players stand around, they talk with their parents. Of course, it's homecoming, and just like you said, they're changing the culture around here. You see all the coaches standing around, parents all coming out here. It's very family-oriented here around here.
And we're seeing down on the field now even professors that are down here of guys, and, you know, that it's not just parents and coaches. It's, like you said, all of Wilmington College. There's administrators down there, there's parents down there, but there's also then faculty and staff that are here showing their support and really showing love. Coach Moore, he's taking time with some parents of some football players, you know, and he's making sure that his program isn't just, you know, about winning and losing. It's about that whole experience, and their family is a part of this program as much as they are a part of this program. And you can see that by him standing there after the game, taking times. You know, as a coach, I understand this all the time. It is hard after a loss. It's hard after any game to talk to people, but after a loss, it's really hard to stand there and be willing to talk and spend time with other people, and, you know.
And Coach Moore understands it's a growing process, though. I mean, you're not going to change this overnight, and it takes time. And the thing is, you're gonna lose a lot before you start succeeding. But the thing is, as you're changing the culture around here, this is what they're developing, and it's a development. And the thing is, people hold on, and there's a promising thing. I mean, there was a lot of great things. Those small battles that was won today. And like Coach always said, he says, you got to win those small battles. And not only that, you got to be, what are you going to do? You're going to change the way. It's you know, it's all as a team, but you as a person has to know what you're going to do and do your job, play your 1/11th, be the best you can be to change this. And then as a unit, we can come together and say, hey, this is what we're doing.
And he doesn't just preach it, he lives it, and he's having these guys live it. And you can see that by the success that they've had. And I know they've had a few what people would call failures on the scoreboard here and there, but really, when you're watching how these guys battle in this game, you know, they might not have won the game, but they won the game of life today. These guys, these young men, they understand how to battle and be a team and be a family. Those are lessons that you're going to learn, you know, every day in the real world out there. And you're going to you have these opportunities to practice it with sport. You know, he's giving them those opportunities to practice it right now. So Chris, I think that we'll probably call it a day here.
Coach Moore looks like he's a little busy down there. He keeps getting hit up by all the parents and things. They just surrounding him. So, and of course, you can catch him every Thursday on the Sports Show, Wilmington Sports Show at Damon's. Starts 7 to 8 o'clock. This week we'll have Coach Moore. We'll see. Tune in. You'll see who's going to be a special guest. So, thank you for tuning in, Coach. Thanks for having coming on. We had a great time.
So for Chris Wisecup and Alan King, we are signing off for the day. Have a great day. Go Wilmington Quakers.
Hey, Coach. That was awesome, man. You're good, man. I like it. We had a good time, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
I enjoyed it. Like I said, you do a good job. And I tell you, isn't it so much easier when you know the players? I went down to Malone College and doing them. And when you know your players and things, you just say it does so much easier.
Oh, absolutely.